Hello and welcome to the Borregos Esports Invitational, a college tournament within the Meta Games Conference, which is an event that seeks to incorporate the esports industry as a whole, from players to industry partners.
Yep, this initiative is organized by the APRU, the Association of the Pacific Rim Universities, which is comprised of leading universities from 18 economies around the Pacific Rim. These universities are known worldwide for their academic and research excellence. In this edition of the Borregos Esports Invitational, we will have universities such as the Nanyang Technological University, the Shanghai Yaotong University, the UC Davis, the University of California, and of course the Universidad Tecnológico de Monterrey from Mexico, playing in Clash Royale matches. But today, in the semifinals, we only have two of those four universities left. We only have the University of Tecnológico de Monterrey and the Shanghai Yaotong University.
That is correct. Only 4 teams are left right now, and 2 from each of these universities. Two from Tecnológico de Monterrey and 2 from Shanghai. And now we are going to be seeing the results of this. And today also we are going to be having the grand final. Which of these teams are going to go into the grand final? We do not know yet, because we have several interesting scenarios that we could have. We could have Borregos against Borregos. We could have Shanghai against Shanghai. And we could have a final between these two different universities, Tecnológico de Monterrey versus Shanghai.
Yeah, we will see which of these mix and matches will we end up having. And we will have, well, if you accompanied us on yesterday's broadcast, you saw that we have a kind of an usual format. It's basically, we're going to start with both series are going to be a best of 3 series, with the first point going to a 2v2, 2v2 best of 3. So the first team that wins 2 out of 3 matches of this 2v2 will win the first point. Then we have a King of the Hill, that is 3 players against 3 players for this next point. The last man standing, you have 3 lives for team, and the last point in the case of a tiebreaker, it is a 1v1 best of 3. So we'll see how these universities end up lining each other. We have the first match, that is actually the Tecnológico de Monterrey Campus Guadalajara against the STGU team.
The AAA STGU.
From the Shanghai Yaotong University. So we'll see how they end up facing each other. We were talking about it. We only have these 2 universities left, but we have 2 teams from each university.
Yeah, that is correct.
We'll see how they face each other, especially because Tecnológico de Monterrey Campus Guadalajara already beat one of the Shanghai's university. So maybe if the playstyles are really similar, they will just repeat it.
They might as well do so. They have been performing really well. They have been really consistent. They have really consistent players. And on the part of Shanghai, they were able to actually beat one of Tecnológico de Monterrey teams, which was Prepatec. And they were able to perform another win 2-0 in the series. But it was maybe not as clean as Tecnológico's Campus Guadalajara. But we're going to be seeing an interesting match. In fact, yesterday, the only match that went into a third match or a third series was the last one that we had. And other than that, all the matches went 2-0.
Yeah, it was actually the match from the Nanyang Technological University and the guy, one of the teams of the Shanghai Yaotong University.
Light,
actually. So we'll see them right before this match against the Tecnológico de Monterrey Campus Monterrey. So we'll see how they end up facing each other. We bet it's basically like one university against the other in both sides of the bracket. So we'll see how they end up facing each other. But we're gonna go to the first game between these 2 universities, Campus Guadalajara and SGTU Team 2. On the top side, we already see a Lumberjack and a Fisherman with a Mega Knight response by Danny and Oscar San.
Yeah, Mega Knight is going to be coming into the arena right now. It has not received any kind of value. Mega Knight is going to be on part of Shanghai Jiaotong University too. And now we have an interesting matchup because we have Fisherman on part of Shanghai. And this could be a really defining part of the match. We are actually going to have double Mega Knights on part of Campus Guadalajara. And this could bring us to maybe what could be a graveyard. There is a
There's
tornado. Also, there is poison too. So we might as well see a double graveyard, which could be really, really dangerous.
Yeah, it could really do a lot of chip damage. Let's see how the Campus Guadalajara ends up playing it. And in the side of SJTU Team 2, they actually haven't really like showed all of their cards.
Nope.
They're still missing a lot of like maybe win conditions. We'll see what they end up using besides. Oh, okay, it's a giant skeleton, something they have used in the past.
Yep, they have.
Yeah.
And Shanghai is known for using these giant skeletons in the 2v2 matches, and so far they're probably gonna keep going with it and see how this goes. At least for Team 2, it actually worked really well against Prepa Team, but we'll see if it happens or it has the same amount of success against Campus Guadalajara, because they actually have beaten this before.
Yeah, they have done it once, so they may do it again. Now we have the graveyard by Campus Guadalajara on that right side lane. They will do a little bit of a chip damage, but not much yet. That Lumberjack is going to get distracted by the Bomber Tower, obviously, and the Rage is on the floor. It's not going to connect for anything, so it will all go to waste. Now the Shanghai University is going to try to do a counter push, but they really don't have anything besides that Mega Knight and a balloon. Okay, that's interesting.
Balloon is going to be one of the win conditions, and a graveyard too. Also the freeze, this is a really, really hard push. They're being really aggressive. Nice tornado there, but better else the Bomber Tower, right, to actually be able to slow down that push and be able to actually avoid a lot of damage. But here comes the graveyard. Here comes the counter push on part of Borregos Campus Guadalajara. Let's see if they can actually get the first tower. We're going to go directly into the extra time. Sudden death right now, 120 seconds left in the clock.
Yeah, we have those last 120 seconds. That Goblin Cage that ended up spawning. The Goblin Brawler.
Baby Dragon connecting.
The Baby Dragon connecting, like you said. And the Poison doing its fair share. Now let's see how else they can do, how else they can match. If Campus Guadalajara just stays like this for the next minute and a half, they will end up winning in the tiebreaker.
That is correct. They only have 1 minute and 20 seconds left, but the advantage right now is for Campus Guadalajara. Guadalajara is showing off a really good defense, a really good push, and now they have a double Mega Knight in the arena. Let's see if they can actually accomplish anything here. The graveyard is going to be coming in. They have also the poison in the ground right now. 600 health. There is nothing left to do. That is it. That is the first match coming up for Campus Guadalajara and having the first win in the 2v2.
Yeah, Tecnológico de Monterrey, Campus Guadalajara ends up taking the first win in this 2v2. Let's remember, it's a best of 3, so they still have to win another match in this best of 3, this 2v2, so to get the first point. Now, let's see how they end up facing, how the other team, especially Shanghai, ends up like adapting, because we've seen this playstyle before by them. And Campus Guadalajara already beat a team with this playstyle. So they have to propose something else.
Yeah, and it's really interesting the fact that Shanghai is so confident about the giant skeleton that they have been doing this the whole matches in 2v2. Every single match that we have seen from Shanghai team in 2v2 have had at least one giant skeleton as the win condition, and they haven't been able to actually be consistent with those wins. Yeah, they managed to get it first time against Prepa Tech, but so far against Guadalajara, it hasn't been the same story.
Yeah, it hasn't been the same story. I mean, even against Prepa Tech, it went not as one-sided as they would have liked.
Yeah,
they actually like it was a close match, especially in the King of the Hill that ended up being in the 1v1, the last 1v1. So we'll see how they end up facing each other. I really think that Shanghai University needs to adapt, to change something even a bit on this particular deck, because they have been playing it for a while, and we were talking about it yesterday in yesterday's transmission, that it was basically like a Shanghai's University playstyle. Like all three teams of Shanghai ended up playing like the same style. So we really need them to adapt somehow.
Yeah, something needs to change because uh, Ca- Tecnológico de Monterrey already played against this, already won
Yep.
against this, already knows how this strategy works and
It's,
how the win condition is going to be present and how to actually avoid that from happening. And as long as they keep doing this, and as long as they know this condition, and as long as Shanghai doesn't propose anything new, they're gonna be having these wins in these ways that are showing to be kind of easy for Tecnológico de Monterrey.
yeah, now we'll see how they end up facing. We have Tecnológico de Monterrey Campus Guadalajara on the
On
top
top.
side
Yep.
and SJTU Team 2 on the bottom side from the Shanghai Yaotong University. So we'll see how they can match the tornado that will actually activate the King's Tower, and that may be really important for
So-
the SJTU team.
I see a little bit of miscommunication on part of Shanghai Jiaotong University because we saw a double musketeer trying to defend that baby dragon and they both came practically at the same time, and that's something that you do not want to do. We are gonna be seeing the giant skeleton once again on part of Shanghai. Let's see if they can make it work somehow because they haven't been able to do so against Campus Guadalajara, and now we're gonna be seeing the balloon with the Lumberjack once again. Let's see if the Rage can actually make this balloon to connect, but nice, the Goblin Cage to actually gain the aggro from the balloon.
Yeah, that was pretty good. And then the Inferno Tower, of course. The Inferno Tower was placed first, but it wasn't placed in the best side, so they have to throw the Goblin Cage in order to gain the aggro. If it was placed better, just the Inferno Tower would have been enough. But it was a little miscommunication by Campus Guadalajara, but at the end of the day, they ended up like correcting itself, and they end up winning
they
that
had to
trade.
invest a little bit more elixir,
Yeah.
but that was not a big deal because also Shanghai invested a lot of elixir in trying to make that push work, bringing up the balloon into the field. Now we're gonna see the Lava Hound into the hands of Campus Guadalajara, and a Mini P.E.K.K.A. also trying to come out and beat that Mega Knight that is probably gonna fail at that mission. Double Musketeer now is gonna be up against the Lava Hound, and we're gonna see if this Goblin Barrel is able to actually connect and make some damage on the right side tower.
I'm actually intrigued with that
Ooh,
Lava
Baby
Hound
Dragon.
because I don't see what else is gonna accompany that Lava Hound. We just have one card left, and in the case that
Well,
it's
there is the Goblin Barrel, and that might as well try to be the one to make the damage.
I don't know.
Graveyard.
I'm not really sure about that. We have a rocket right now. That will be
Ooh, did
enough.
not
But
connect.
it didn't connect against the balloon.
We're
And
gonna
that
go
will
to
be
the third
the
match?
loss by Campus Guadalajara. Important by SJTU team. Actually,
And a crucial mistake because
yeah,
that
that was
rocket,
basically a mistake because that
Yeah.
rocket would have stopped the balloon.
that rocket was supposed to actually hit the balloon, and if it had hit, that would have been a whole different story because they had the whole advantage. They had the advantage in the turret, the tower HP, and just by missing one rocket, by investing those 6 elixir points on a failed spell, they
And
just lost the match.
And I don't know really what happened there, like why he missed that rocket, but it was a really big. I don't know. Actually, there were like two big problems. Well, two big like mistakes by Campus Guadalajara. First, that Inferno Tower that wasn't placed correctly to stop the
Yeah.
the
balloon.
the balloon, but it was kind of well like recovered by the Goblin Cage. But in the case of that rocket, there was nothing else to stop it.
And
So-
there was no elixir left.
No, literally, there was no way to stop the balloon. So that was just like a huge mistake by them because they
Yep.
still had that ace below their hands. So I don't know.
And they had all the advantages. Actually,
Yeah, they
the
had
Princess
the
Tower in
health
the right side was
advantage.
below 600 HP. They were really close. Actually, they will be on a double rotation on the rocket, maybe. They will be on a barrel and a rocket, maybe. But now we're gonna go into the third match in this 2v2, and this is gonna be the match point for the first point in the series. And it could go anyway because Shanghai just surprised us by winning that last match, but there was an important mistake on part of the Campus Guadalajara in that specific match, and now we're gonna be seeing the giant skeleton get banned.
Yeah, we'll see what else they can use that Hunter, and it's gonna be used on the right side lane. You have Campus Guadalajara on the top side and SJTU Team 2 on the bottom side. And right now we see a little bit of a different approach by both of the teams.
Yep.
We see the Dark Knight by SJTU Team 2 and
a
the
Graveyard.
P.E.K.K.A. and with the Graveyard for the Campus
Ooh,
Guadalajara.
there's no response.
We'll
Nice
see
tornado.
how they see.
Okay. Took a little bit longer than they should have because it went down to 1730 HP.
Yeah.
And now they're missing a
golem.
little bit of health.
Okay.
And the P.E.K.K.A. is going to face off with the Golem. It's going to be taken out by the Fisherman. And that is not what you want to see happening by a Fisherman. It's going to connect the dead damage. It's going to connect a couple of times with the Golemites and the dead damage from these ones too. But the P.E.K.K.A. is still alive. The P.E.K.K.A. is still a problem that Shanghai needs to deal with.
Yeah, they actually just like emoted, like angry emoted, because they really don't have a way to stop it right now, other than that Goblin Brawler. But at the end of the day, they're just gonna fall without any further. Okay, that freeze may have bought them a little bit of time, but anyways, the P.E.K.K.A. doesn't connect with the right side turret lane, so we'll see what else they had. We go to the double elixir right now.
Double elixir right now in the arena. P.E.K.K.A. is coming up again from the back part of the map on Campus Guadalajara. And now we're going to have to see what they are going to try to propose, because they have double Graveyard. Graveyard is going to come up in the left side lane, and it's going to be dealing a little bit of damage. Nothing to be worried about really from Shanghai, but what they should be worrying about is about that P.E.K.K.A. that is coming on the right side, and it's probably going to be accompanied again by a Graveyard.
Yeah, it's going to be accompanied by that Graveyard, but it's going to be stopped
nice
by
Fisherman.
that Fisherman. Amazing what has he done. And I told you that I love that card. It's really effective against those ground troops. So we'll see what else they can get. That P.E.K.K.A. that will just end up pushing. 10 seconds left. It's really hard right now. We'll just go to sudden death. And then we'll see what else they can achieve.
Graveyard on left.
Because they're really close right now.
They're really close, and this match would actually go to any of the players, but the freeze is going to be really effective. Graveyard is going to be coming in. 825 left HP on the left side tower. It's probably going to be just a couple of Graveyards more. If they can actually make that happen, they make them connect. And with the freeze, it is a huge possibility for make it happening.
Oh, they're actually going to use the P.E.K.K.A. on the left side turret again, a Graveyard. And that may be enough with the freeze. Campus Guadalajara ends up winning the first point of the match. The first point of the best of 3 series. They won the 2v2.
I believe that Shanghai didn't realize that they had double Graveyard. Because they should have known. They should have known that there was a double Graveyard, that the second one was probably going to come in. But I believe that Borregos timed out that so smoothly that they might have led Shanghai to believe that there was only one Graveyard in play.
I think they did it perfectly. I think Campus Guadalajara ends up using a different deck actually. That P.E.K.K.A. Graveyard combination, we haven't seen it. Now we see it, and Shanghai, I insist, they're playing the same decks that Campus Guadalajara already beat. Like they have already played against these decks, and they have already beat them. So I am really eager to see Shanghai's approach in the King of the Hill, what they will propose, what other strategies they have, because if not, I am really worried of this King of the Hill.
It could be interesting because we have seen Shanghai to actually have a really patience type of style. They don't really tend to push that aggressively, but it could go either way. Interestingly enough, we haven't seen Borregos Guadalajara actually use more than one players in the King of the Hill. So it was, I believe it was 2 of them. It was Marsan, Oscarson was it?
I think
I think he got the 2 of the matches, and we haven't really seen that much variety from the players of Tecnológico de Monterrey, but we're gonna be probably seeing more of these players now, because Shanghai tends to be interestingly diverse in this King of the Hill.
let's see how they end up facing. We're going to go to the first match of this King of the Hill, and let's see which players they end up using. Frozen clearly by SJTU Team 2.
That ended up that won two
he won 2 matches. He won the first one and the second one, and almost beat the third one.
Yep.
So we'll see how he ends up facing against Danny, one of the players of Campus Guadalajara, this Tecnológico de Monterrey, that is going to have a bridge spam with that.
Becca,
oh, yeah, do you think?
I do think it's really common to see that.
I
That
mean,
one with the Becca, here comes it. It's something that an archetype that is really common to see when we have a bridge spam. It's going to be accompanied by the Becca. We're going to have a graveyard that is going to be hard to defend, actually, on part of Danny, because he does not have enough elixir. It's going to be the Electro Wizard to come in and try to defend this. And now the Royal Ghost is actually able to make a couple of hits on that Princess Tower on the right side. And now the Electro Wizard is going to do the same. A couple of hits have been done already, 3 hits now, 4 hits already on that right side tower, and a little crying emote is obviously what is gonna happen because he received so much damage. Frozen is already against the ropes.
And actually, it was a really weird combination between the Tornado and the Fisherman, because it like kind of got him stuck.
They kind of have the same effect, but they shouldn't be played at the same time.
Yeah, but because they were actually like pulled like one against the other, so it was like really bad. It almost made the Becca actually hit the Princess Tower.
Yep.
So it was close, and Frozen was like really happy about it, like that it didn't hit, because it was really, really close, and that would have been a lot of damage. Now we're gonna see the Bandit that will actually, that Fisherman really well placed that to prevent the Bandit from hitting the tower, because if not, that would have been a lot of charge damage. And now we're gonna see the Graveyard by Frozen.
Graveyard on the right side, Poison also being used aggressively in these moments. There is still the Royal Ghost trying to connect. Musketeer is going to connect a couple of times on the Princess Tower on the right side, but here comes the counter push. It's going to be stopped by that Gage and by the Mega Knight. This is actually a really good answer for this bridge span that Dan is trying to present, that is trying to propose, and actually the P.E.K.K.A is going to try to also counter in a good way the Mega Knight.
Yeah, it's actually like they're counting each other, like none can pass without with the other in play, so we'll see what they can do. The Ball Ram that has been completely countered by the Goblin Cage, it has been really, really really hard for Danny to actually do something with his deck. He has just done one good push against that right side turret. It has been more than enough to do a little bit of damage, but now we have to see what else he can do, because with that Mega Knight, it's really gonna be really, really tough. But that P.E.K.K.A was really well placed.
The real problem I see here is that the Fisherman is going to try to stop the P.E.K.K.A every single time that he tries to place it on the map, and every time that he tries to counter the Mega Knight with that. Here comes the Fisherman once again. He isn't not even going to connect with the P.E.K.K.A because the P.E.K.K.A already has received a lot of damage. Battle Ram hasn't actually been able to perform any kind of damage that has been effective enough. And this is probably a match that is going to be ended up with the Poisons and with the Graveyard, maybe, because now, how is he going to respond? How is Danny going to defend this? He has to use the Electro Wizard. It's going to be enough for that. But now,
I think Danny
how's he going to push?
Danny has another card on his below his sleeve. That may be like a Rocket or a Fireball. So that would maybe like win the game if it's necessary, but the Battle Ram will be more than enough with the Magic Archer to win the match. That was a really... What just happened? I thought
from one moment to another that somehow happened, because that was a really, really close match. Somehow the Battle Ram was able to hit that right side tower. There was not enough damage from that barrel to actually to stop the Ram. And that was really unfortunate on part of Frozen, because he was so close. It might have even come to a tiebreaker at that point.
Frozen would have won the tiebreaker because of the chip damage on the right side turret. And I'm still eager. What was the last card from Danny? Yep. Like I really think it was a spell. Like I'm pretty sure it was like a strong spell.
I believe it was a low cost spell.
Yeah,
Yeah, I believe
that's
it
why
might
he
have
didn't
been a
use it.
sub.
No?
Maybe didn't seem that much value in using that
Use it.
card. Maybe it was a snowball, could have been. But
Uh,
really interesting the way that this ended. But nevertheless, this means that Frozen is out right now.
yeah,
They lost the first match in the
and
King of the Hill,
he
and
wasn't important.
they're just 2 matches more or 2 matches away from winning this semifinal.
But actually, Frozen was really important in SJ, STGAU Team 2 last match against Prepa Tech because he won 2 of the 3 matches for his team on the King of the Hill. Actually, he was the other players, one of the other players, one of the other team's players that ended up actually winning him the second and almost the third player.
Yep.
So we will see how they are
Crucitos, I
adapting.
believe so.
Yeah, so we'll see how they ended up like adapting. And one other players, Borregos Guadalajara ends up having on this specific King of the Hill, because as you said, we actually haven't seen the 3 of them.
Yep.
Well, right now we only see 1, and we are still missing 2 of them. So we'll see who they are and how good they are.
And that might as well be Jose because
Yeah.
he is actually captain. He
Yeah.
is a really experienced
And
player.
we haven't seen,
we
we
haven't
didn't
seen
see
him
in
play
round 1.
because we haven't been to that moment where he is actually able to play. He might as well be the player selected for the
For the
1v1,
and that's it.
and he might as well not be in the King of the Hill. But if he is, it's as a player to be considered one of the best here in the regions, at least in the university level, and he might as well be a dangerous player to go against.
Actually, we will have to see. Maybe just Tecnológico de Monterrey Campus Guadalajara has him like his ace below their sleeve because they already have 1 point. Like they are not afraid to lose the King of the Hill because
Yep.
they already have 1 point, so they are still like guaranteed to go to the next phase, to the 1v1. So
Yep.
we'll see how they end up facing each other. And now we see that Balram again by, I don't know, now it's used by MC for
Yep.
SJTU team. What?
Yeah, and I
Interesting.
believe this is an interesting
same deck,
change.
I think.
It might as well be the same deck. This is actually a
Rocket.
really common archetype. A Rocket is going to be coming in, probably accompanied by the Lockbait. We might as well see a Goblin Barrel, and I do not believe that is the best option for a bridge span with the P.E.K.K.A. and with the Battle Ramp.
Yeah, he will probably not have any kind of response. And that will be really tough for Danny. He has an Inferno Tower, but I still don't think that's enough. He doesn't have any units to stop the P.E.K.K.A. Just the Ball Ramp will be enough to destroy the Inferno Tower. The P.E.K.K.A. is still alive. The Barbarian is still alive. And
He
that
only
will be
has 3
a
elixir.
ton of damage on that left side turret.
It's gonna
it will
go down.
probably die. Yeah, it ended up dying just with 1 single P.E.K.K.A. Was more than enough for MC to take down that left side turret. And now he can possibly even go for the 3 crowns.
He might as well try to do so, but it's gonna be a really hard thing to actually accomplish since it's gonna become harder now to actually get into that King Tower. But what is really easy to predict right now is that this match is probably gonna go to MC's hands because there is really not a good answer against this deck for Danny because there is nothing that can actually deal with the P.E.K.K.A.
No, he doesn't have a Mega Knight. He doesn't have.
I mean, he has the Inferno
Giant
Tower, but
Skeleton.
there is a Sap, there is a Magic Archer that overranges
and also
the
Ball
tower.
Ramp.
There are a lot of resources for him to deal
Look,
with
the Ball Ramp,
the Inferno Tower.
The Valorant alone does most of the damage
Yep.
of that Inferno Tower, so it ends up being kind of useless. So we're gonna see probably the win by MC. He really just has to hold right now.
Yep.
But he will probably even take another turret. The Balram ends up hitting on the right side turret. And now the Barbarians are gonna do a lot more damage. The mini P.E.K.K.A. is gonna be used to face against that tiny archer, that magic archer. And now the real P.E.K.K.A. that is home. And that's gonna be hard.
Yeah, that is gonna be the first match in favor of Shanghai Jiaotong University. It's gonna be MC, the one that brings the victory into the hands of his university and his team, and he's gonna bring Danny down. Danny is gonna be out now, and we're gonna go to the second representative of the Tecnológico de Monterrey. So now we're 1-1. Two lives left for each of these universities, and still a match that could go any way or any side.
Yeah, basically, no. We'll see how they can adapt, because it was actually really curious that MC played Danny's last deck.
Yeah.
He plays his first deck and actually beats him with it. Like, Danny literally came with a whole different deck.
Yep.
Like, that was a whole different setup. So we will see now the second representative, as you said, of Tecnológico de Monterrey facing against the second representative of the Shanghai Jiaotong University. And that will be interesting, because I think we haven't seen the second, at least in round 1. I really can't remember right now. I think we saw the second one, but we didn't see the third one for Campus Guadalajara. Yep. So we'll see what they have. I mean, they can change it up, you know? Like, they can change the lineup at the end of the day, so we'll see who is the second player right now. And from Shanghai Jiaotong University, what this MC is gonna use on this second match?
We actually haven't seen a lot of from MC, because he has played both of the 2v2 matches, and he actually lost as soon as he came in the King of the Hill against Crucito, and he was actually eliminated with Frozen 2, and we haven't seen him perform that much or actually be in that many games. We actually have only seen 2 games in 1v1, and it's just pretty much the one that you just had and the one that went against Crucito, where he actually lost. So he might actually bring something new to the table in this next match. We already saw him with the bridge spam archetype, and he might as well bring something new that is not as predictable as what has happened, at least in the 2v2s for Shanghai.
And it's what we talk now. These players really don't know each other. They really don't know what they play. So we'll see Oscar San by Campus Guadalajara that he actually played the 2v2. So we'll see how he ends up facing at a Hunter and a Knight used for both sides. We'll see that Fireball coming up from Oscar San, and now a Cannon card by MC.
Cannon card on part of MC.
That's the cycle deck by Oscar. Or an Expo.
Expo.
Yeah, that's
it's
right.
Gonna be coming in. It's gonna be probably missing only the Tesla Tower. That is gonna be the last card on part of Oscar San, probably.
Why?
And
that was a really defensive Expo.
It actually might have been a mistake on part of Oscar San, because he probably should
want... And the mortar?
I'm not sure what is going on with these buildings right now, because Expo especially was probably a mistake on part of Oscar San. He probably wanted to place it a little bit behind to make it an offensive one, or further away to make it an offensive one. And now the mortar is connecting on the left side tower, as you just told us, and it connected actually 3 times in this same tower. 1874 on part of that left side turret, and it came all from a mistake from Oscar.
And Oscar San, with that defensive turret, it's gonna actually face up against that mortar. He will, obviously, the Expo ends up winning that matchup.
Yep.
And now he will face the Cannon card. But it's a defensive Expo. It's not an offensive Expo.
Yep.
So he will not deal any kind of damage against the Princess turrets. And it will actually also fall before he can even place the second one.
Yep.
That is what you basically want when you play Expo and also defensive Expo.
Yeah, that's probably the win condition comes out when you go in the double elixir and you try to bring in the double Expo into the field. One defensive and another offensive one.
Graveyard.
And now we're going to be seeing the graveyard on part of MC. Let's see if it can actually get any kind of value, because the Expo is defending that side, and there is also a little archer over there. And now here comes the second Expo right now. This is the offensive one. This is the one that needs to connect into the Princess Tower. and needs to be to enable the win
I
condition,
don't
but
think
it's getting harder as time goes. Now it's
Okay,
gonna
it's locked
connect a
down.
little bit. It's locked down on the right side tower. Fireball that is gonna try to avoid any other damage, but 1791 HP on the right side tower.
But that cannon card will stop the Expo's aggro for the moment being, and that Barbarrel will also do a little bit of chip damage. The Expo will actually not be able to connect because of the cannon card. It was actually a pretty well placed counter right now, and Oscar San is really on the defensive.
Careful
He
with the
really
marker.
has no more left. No more things left in order to defend. He will place another defensive Expo, and this looks really tough by both sides.
Yeah, we're gonna go now into the extra time. We only have 1.5 minutes left in the time bank, and when the triple elixir comes in the last minute, it's gonna be probably a really oppressive match on part of Oscar San when he tries even to try to bring in the triple expo. And with 3 expos in the map, it's gonna be really hard to defend. It's gonna be really hard to actually try to destroy any of those 3 expos, and that might become its win condition.
Yeah, that will be the win condition. The mortars also on the map are really doing like a lot of, not damage per se, but a lot of resistance for MC right now. And now we'll see the double X-bow against the cannon card. The fireball gonna be used up. The cannon card's gonna, ooh, they were really placed really close between them, so they will end up taking a lot of damage. It's gonna lock down the turret, and a defensive Expo actually played by Oscar San instead of an offensive one. It will just
731.
731, 30 seconds left on the timer, and Oscar is just playing for the cycle.
Yeah, he's just trying to be the one that actually finishes off that Princess Tower. It's gonna bring down the next Expo. It's gonna bring down the Fireball too. Here comes the Knight to actually try to tank the Expo, but it's 2 of them actually making damage in the field. Last 10 seconds of the match, and it's gonna come down to a tiebreaker, but it is gonna go for Oscar San. Nothing left to be done. Tiebreaker is gonna bring the second victory now for Oscar San.
Yeah, it was actually a victory. Really well played by Oscar San with that Expo. Maybe it was really like a structure-based gameplay. It was Mortar against Expo, so Expo is gonna win. Especially if you don't really have like the counters for Expo, and it's really hard to counter Expo per se because you really don't ever expect an Expo. It just happens. So it's really interesting by this Oscar San. In order to beat the second player from Shanghai University, now we'll see the third player from Shanghai.
And the real question is, who is that gonna be? That the last time it was Gu Yuyang who actually came in to beat Crucito. He was the hero to be able to actually secure that victory for the team. And now he might as well be the one left here in the King of the Hill. If he does come back and if he performs as well as he did the last time, he might as well bring a victory once again for that team.
Yeah, it will actually be really interesting by him. He may just do
remember,
like a reverse.
he needs to, because if he doesn't, this is lost. Yeah, this is match point.
Yeah, this is match point, and basically we'll see Tecnológico de Monterrey Campus Guadalajara on the next phase, on the grand finale. So we'll see how they end up facing each other. We'll have the second player from Borregos Guadalajara against the third player from the Shanghai Yangtong University. And this will be really interesting to see. Because the representative of the Shanghai University has to win 2 matches in a row. Nothing that it isn't that he doesn't, that he can't do it.
He's not able
but
to.
It is actually kind of hard because we don't even know who the third representative of Campus Guadalajara is. So it will obviously be something really hard, and we will see that Goblin Cage used by both. This may be a mirror match.
And it is actually at the end Gu Yuyang who actually comes in on part of Shanghai, and he's gonna try to be the hero now. He has to actually be the one to beat 2 matches in a row, Borregos Guadalajara actually has to beat Oscar San first, and he's gonna have to beat the third representative, which we do not know yet who that is gonna be in case it is needed. But remember, if he falls in this or the next match, that is it. That is match point, and that is gonna be Borregos Guadalajara going into the grand finals.
Yeah, it's actually this may be the last chance passed by SJTU Team 2. So we'll see how they end up facing each other. That Dark Witch will do a little bit of chip damage with the bats at the end, but not enough. Now we'll see the Goblin Cage. It's actually a Royal Pain by Oscar San. And we will see that on the left side turret. Actually doing a lot of damage on that side because of the Mega Minion. Nice, well played Tornado, but at the end of the day, it will
save one
still...
hit more, but not more.
Ooh!
Maybe two. Maybe 2 hits more. It was a really good Tornado at the end because it avoided 2 hits from that Noble Giant. And now we're going to see a Lumberjack coming in and Golem. That is something that was expected since we saw the Night Witch. It's going to be a card that always tries to accompany this kind of Colossus, like the Golem, like the Elixir Golem too. And now it's going to accompany the Golem, and could be a really good idea, because there's not really a good or that good of a defense on part of Oscar San besides the Lumberjack, maybe.
There isn't any, to be honest. Like there isn't any ground defense by Oscar San against this Golem. It's actually gonna hit a lot of damage against that right side turret. The baby dragon is still alive. He will end up dying, obviously, because of that turret. The rage that it will be not used right now, but the counter push used by the left lane, that Goblin Cage, amazingly placed by
Here comes the Tornado,
SDU.
of course. Yeah, that is precisely what was going to happen. The Tornado is going to save him from receiving a lot of damage. It's going to connect one time, nevertheless, but that is not enough to actually bring that turret down. It's going to be the Night Witch trying to defend, and here comes the second Noble Knight. Is it going to be enough? We do not know, because there's probably not enough time for him to actually be able to get to the right side turret. But the Goblin Cage was awesome, was perfect. He moved away the Giant. It was enough for him to defend, and now it's the danger of the Golem. What is he gonna do to defend? Nice Tornado to bring all those troops to the left side, and now the Golem is connecting. He's gonna connect the second hit, and the Lightning is gonna be enough for him to close this match for him.
That was really well played by the SJTU Team 2 representative. Now, last match, basically. This is the last match, the last match of this King of the Hill.
Still match point.
The third player of the Campus Guadalajara against the third player of the Shanghai University. We don't even know who the third representative of the Campus Guadalajara is, so we still have that left to know, and how he will face up against the Shanghai's representative that actually played that really well. He timed that perfectly.
That last Tornado, man,
that was amazing. That was
perfect.
Really well
That
placed.
was just on point, because if he hadn't done that, probably there would have been enough damage for them, for Oscar to actually be able to destroy the Golem and to avoid that damage from coming into the right side. And if that had happened, maybe we would have our first finalist.
Yeah, it was actually really close, and now we'll see if the Tecnológico de Monterrey Campus Guadalajara ends up being enough, or ends up being on top in order to get to the grand finale with just these 2 games, or if we will get that last best of 3 1v1, that last point in this semi-final. Let's see what we have. We'll go right up to the last match of this King of the Hill to see how we will face each other.
Let's see what is going to happen. It's Jose right now representing Campus Guadalajara, is facing off against Yu Yang, and let's see who of these 2 players comes on top. It's gonna be a Mortar once again from Shanghai, and I do not like the Mortar decision because it hasn't been that effective, and it hasn't found the effectiveness that they wanted to have.
it's actually being used quite a lot by Shanghai Yaotong University. And as you said, it actually hasn't done a lot of damage. It hasn't done a lot on these matches. We'll see a flying machine just to do a little bit of damage against that miner. Miner did quite a ton of damage, like around 600 times.
Placed knight.
Yeah, it was a perfectly placed knight. That mega minion that will actually get obviously distracted. And again, the mortar being used.
Mortar being used, he's going to try to stop the Barbarians, it's going to be good enough. It actually was able to connect one time onto the left side turret, and it's going to generate enough damage on the Barbarians for them to be able to be finished by that Barbar on the left side. And now the Miner is going to come in and try to do some cheap damage on the left side. Hunter is going to be taken down by those arrows, and now the Skeleton Dragons are going to generate a lot of damage on that left side tower, but also it's going to do the same the Cannon card that is actually connecting on the left side, and it's 13-18 against 9-78 for Jose.
Yeah, actually, the SJTU Team 2 representative has a lot of advantages right now, and with that mortar in his hands and that knight that will stop basically anything, it's actually a Barbarian hot by WA Jose. So we'll see what else he can get. The mortar being placed, obviously, to prevent any further damage by that Barbarian hot. Ooh. And now Lava Hound is the last Lava Hound with Skeleton Dragons
Lava Hound is supposed to be tanking for the Miner, and that is probably what Jose is trying to look forward to right here. It might as well be good enough to create enough cheap damage for a tiebreaker maybe, but as far as this match goes, or as far as we have seen in this match, it's gonna be really, really hard because Jose already received a lot of damage.
There's no response for the Mega Knight.
And that is correct. Here comes the Barbarians. That is gonna be enough for for this moment.
Wait.
But
what?
Somehow, Jose just turned this around.
Wait for the Miner at the graveyard.
15 seconds graveyard.
There's
Miner,
no response.
But there is no response in the King Tower. What is going to happen right now? It's going to be taken down without any kind of problem. Jose is going to be closing this one up, and it's going to bring in the victory for Campus Guadalajara.
Tecnológico de Monterrey Campus Guadalajara ends up taking that victory. It really seemed lost by them, but at the end, Jose makes an amazing comeback, an amazing return in that game. One big push with a lot of troops. That was basically the opponent, the Shanghai University representative, didn't have any like splash damage in order to defend that.
I mean, he had the Mega Knight, but there were a lot of aerial troops that were able to bring in a lot of damage.
Yeah, it was aerial troops because it was the Skeleton Dragon, the Lava Hound, the Flying Machine,
Baby Dragon.
The Baby Dragon. There were a lot of aerial troops, so that's what ends up taking. And the winner and our first finalist actually is the Tecnológico de Monterrey Campus Guadalajara, this team from the Tecnológico de Monterrey. So we'll see at least one of them on the finale. Now, we still have left that other semifinal where we have
another Borregos team and another Shanghai team. We're going to have Light against the Tecnológico de Monterrey, Campus Monterrey. And that is going to be a really interesting match because now that Shanghai has lost their first representative, the second team is probably going to be looking for revenge. It's going to be out looking for blood, and they want to be winning that second semifinal.
Yeah, they basically need it because if not, they wouldn't have any representatives on the final, and it would be just the two teams from Tecnológico de Monterrey.
And that would be really huge actually for Borregos.
It would actually be that 2 out of their 3 representatives got to the final, obviously because they not three teams can get to the final. But it will be something really important. It will actually be something amazing.
And that will also secure the championship for Tecnológico de Monterrey. That will be probably
in spite of the campus.
Not mattering who actually wins, it would be Tecnológico de Monterrey winning this first championship.
Yeah, that would be really good for them. So we'll see how they end up facing. It will be the Tecnológico de Monterrey Campus Monterrey, how you said it, against the guys from Light from the Shanghai Yaotong University. So we'll see how they end up facing each other because it's gonna be a tough matchup, I think. both
Yeah,
of them.
because actually Light was the probably the most aggressive team that Shanghai has
Yeah,
shown
actually.
during this competition. They were like the most adapt with the most adaptability that we have seen from Shanghai so far, even though we have seen three different teams from them. So this might as well be their the card under the
Yeah.
sleeve that they have, that to be able to be to beat this Campus Monterrey squad.
I don't know. It will be tough. I
Yep.
think it's gonna be a close matchup by from these two teams. I think, I think that if Shanghai's University has a chance, they have to win the 2v2. Like
Yep.
they don't want
They
the
have to
1v1.
do something different in the 2v2 too.
Yeah, because they have played the same. In general, we talked about it. We've
At
talked
least
about
the
it.
same place that
They've
has
played the
shown.
mortar
Yep.
a ton of times, the golem a ton of times, the giant skeleton
The
even.
mortar has
So,
come out a lot
yeah,
of times too.
and it's basically from the Shanghai's university team. So we'll see how they end up doing, and we'll go right into this first match, this first 2v2 match against these two
That's
squads. We will see Light on the top side with Lightning, and in the campus, Monterrey on the bottom side, Johnson's 007 and Tona.
That is correct. Tona is accompanying Johnson, which actually was really good in the King of the Hill match in the quarterfinals. Let's see how they actually perform in this specific moment. And now, on the part of Light, we're going to be seeing Lighten again being accompanied, of course, by Fusi Feng in this moment, I believe so. And this is going to be really interesting matchup now, because we haven't... We already saw Skeleton Giant for three of these players. We already saw a Balloon that has been really effective, and Balloon that actually was Johnson, the one that was able to actually use it properly and effectively in the quarterfinals. And so far, this match hasn't shown any kind of advantage for any of these two teams.
Yeah, we'll see how they end up facing each other, because both squads are actually really close right now. They just they have actually pretty similar decks. Double Giant Skeleton for both of them, so we'll see what they end up doing. But that Goblin Cage may do the big difference for Light.
Yeah, might as well be the one, but careful with the balloon on the left side. It's going to be defended correctly by the Goblin Cage. Nothing to be worried about. A good defense on part of Chen Haojiang with that little building on that side. And now a balloon is going to come on the counterpart of Light. Let's see if it can actually connect, because there is also a Cemetery trying to be able to do any kind of damage on the right side. It's not going to connect yet. The poison is going to be enough to defend from the Cemetery. And now we're going to see a Musketeer coming in. It's just the remnants of the defense. And a Hunter is going to try to stop them on her feet.
Yeah, they're gonna stop them on their feet right now. The double giant skeleton by for each team. The baby dragon is gonna stop the bats without any problem right now. The musketeer gonna be placed on the map. And now let's see what else they can get. The musketeer is actually not gonna connect against the baby dragon because of the positioning. So we'll see a second musketeer being spawned right now. There's a balloon on the place and a snowball that's gonna stop them on their tracks. The double death damage that will end up taking most of the troops by Light, and we'll see that balloon being used.
Balloon being used on the right side, and it's going to connect thanks to the Rage, and it's going to be accompanied by that freeze that is going to be able to secure the second hit. That was perfect on part of Campus Monterrey. 288 HP left on the right side already. They have the bats to defend. They have the Musketeer to defend. They have a freeze too that was trying to be the one to make an opening, but they only need the poison and probably the freeze and maybe even the luck to be able to finish off this fight, to finish off this match. And this is a pretty much secured win already for Campus Monterrey.
Yeah, it will actually need an astronomical comeback by Light right now. That Miner is going to do a lot of damage with the poison and will be more than enough for Tecnológico de Monterrey, Campus Monterrey, to secure that first win, that first victory of the first round. That 2v2.
Yep.
They only need one more 2v2 match to win the first point in this best of 3 series.
Yep.
And we'll see how Shanghai ends up actually adapting, because it was basically a mirror match. It was
Yep.
like really close.
Yeah, they were
especially
really
in
close. They
the
were really similar decks. They
Yeah.
they had really similar
Winning conditions.
win conditions exactly. And at the end, the timing was perfect for Borregos Monterrey. They were able to pull off the freeze at the exact moment
Yeah.
when they knew they had an opportunity, that they had an opening for the balloon to be able to connect a couple of times. They had the rage that forced the first hit of the balloon,
Yeah.
and then they forced the freeze to actually be able to get the second hit.
Yeah, it was actually a really well placed freeze. We've seen actually this combo of freeze balloon being used a lot
Yep.
on this tournament, and it actually has paid off a lot of times.
Yep.
So we will probably keep seeing it, but I am curious of what the adaptation from both squads will be going
And the
into
ban.
the second match, and we'll be seeing that ban. I am really eager to see what they will end up choosing in this second phase. So let's go into this second match from the first phase, this 2v2 of the semi-finals. It's actually the Poison ban. What?
Poison gets banned at this specific moment. We are not going to be seeing it any more for any of these two teams. We knew that that was a spell that tends to accompany what is the graveyard, and right now we're gonna be seeing giant skeletons again on both sides, and might as well see a log bait from Tona on part of Borregos Monterrey. We're still left to see what is left to be shown on part of Light Team. But so far, seems to be a really, really similar match to what we saw on the last
Yeah, I think it will be basically the same,
But then
except
again-
for the poison. So we'll see what else they got. That Hunter is gonna stop the
Nice
balloon
cage.
on its tracks, along with the cage, with the Goblin cage. And now let's see how they will stop that giant skeleton, because it will be a tough match right now. The freeze gonna be used by Light in order for the Dolaris to do a little bit more
But it
damage,
didn't
but it wasn't
generate
enough.
damage. There was no damage coming into that left side tower because there were enough troops to be able to get the aggro from the graveyard. And so far, this match hasn't gotten any kind of advantage for any of these two teams. So far, we already saw the giant skeleton. We saw the freeze again. We are probably left to see a balloon on part of Light Team, and that might be another win condition that they have. They already have the graveyard. They already have the freeze, and that freeze is probably gonna mean that a balloon is gonna be coming up again.
But the interesting part will be how Campus Monterrey will end up winning, in the case they end up winning. Why? Because they don't have the poison. Like, they don't have that spell that actually, like, they're
That can
running,
counter
they're
the
running,
graveyard.
they're running the same strategy, but without the poison. And the poison was a big win condition on the last on the last one. But we will see
No.
that balloon gonna be used
No.
up. The tornado wasn't enough. It's gonna hit once, but the death damage will activate the
Oh,
King's
that's
turret,
good.
and that's gonna be horrible for
That-
Campus Monterrey.
That was really sad because the cage was in range of the dead damage from the giant skeleton, and that actually finished off the cage before it can actually get the damage from the balloon. And now the advantage is for Campus Monterrey on that left side tower. Yes, they activated the King Towers, but with the deck that they are having, the win conditions that they are proposing, it's really hard for them to actually be in range of that King Tower. And by the time they are, it's gonna probably be too late.
That's gonna probably be too late. Now we're gonna see a graveyard used up on the left side by Light. That freeze, that's gonna do a little bit of damage. That snowball gonna stop them right on their tracks. And that fisherman obviously stopped the giant skeleton. Double giant skeleton spawned by Campus Monterrey. Now we'll see that hard push right now in the left side turret. We'll see also the bombastic balloon, and we'll see what else they can get. That goblin
That
cage
damage.
doing their
Ooh,
thing,
balloon,
and the
balloon, balloon.
balloon that may in
tornado.
range, but that tornado was amazing.
That freeze was really close to connecting if it had come a second earlier, but careful with the Dart Goblin that was able to generate a lot of damage.
Oh,
And
watch
now
out with the
they only
graveyard.
have 175 HP
Freeze.
left, and it's probably going to be a freeze, a lock, and a
Oh,
snowball.
tornado.
Even a miner can finish off that tower on the left side. 60 seconds left. Triple elixir right now, and now let's be careful because just by spells, the Campus Monterrey squad could be able to win this.
But Lightning still has those double graveyards, so that may be a lot of damage if Campus Monterrey doesn't
There it
end up.
goes.
There's
There
the
went. The
snowball,
log.
there's the log, and that will be more than enough for Tecnológico de Monterrey, Campus Monterrey, to secure that second win and secure the first point of this best of 3 series. Now we'll see the King of the Hill, the second side, and
Oof.
this will be really interesting because we actually, if I'm not wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that we only saw one player from this Shanghai University on the King of the Hill, and he was a beast.
One Punch Man.
Yeah,
One
and
Punch
he
Man,
was a
and he
beast.
was a beast, and he used the same deck 3 times in a row.
Do
He
you
made a
remember which
little bit
was?
variation. It was Lava Loon,
A
if
Lava Loon,
I'm not
yeah, you're
wrong.
right.
3 matches
In a row, yeah, he won.
Lava Loon, a little bit changes on the archetype of the Lava Loon, but basically Lava Loon every single match.
Yeah.
And he won the 3 matches in a row in the King of the Hill, and he might as well be the one to be initiating the King of the Hill now.
And he actually won them with 2 crowns and 3 crowns.
Yep.
Like, he really destroyed
Yep.
those King of the Hill matches. So we may see him. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest,
Yep.
either on their first spot or maybe on their second. I don't
Here's
know.
the thing. Borregos may actually know about this. Borregos may actually
Be
have
prepared,
prepared for
yeah.
this, and I do not believe they would be as vulnerable as their predecessors were to fall 3 times against the same deck.
I mean, you call it. Like, he played the same deck, no?
Yep.
So it will be like really I don't know, like,
It could be a misplay for them
yeah,
to
it would be
fail
a misplay
into
to
that.
fail into that, taking into account that they at least know that they have this information.
Yep.
So we'll see how they end up facing each other, and we'll go right into this first match of the King of the Hill between these 2 great universities, and let's see who take the first point of this. King of the Hill, remember, it's a 3 versus 3. You have 3 lives, basically. So the first
The last
team
man
who
standing
take, yeah, the last man
is
standing,
pretty
the
much who
first,
takes
the
the
first guy, the last guy, sorry, that is alive for the team will end up taking the point. So we'll see how they end up doing right now.
Yep.
We're just barely seconds away from this next match. I really want to see if One Punch Man ends up going. And it
Something
appears-
important here is
Ooh.
we are not gonna be seeing One Punch Man first. We're gonna be seeing 570 going in first, and we're gonna see Pix Aguilar also going in first for Campus Monterrey. We didn't see him the last time either. I believe Tona was the one who started off with the King of the Hill, and then Johnson 007 was the one that followed up. But so far. Oh, this deck from Pix Aguilar is a really cheap deck that is
it's
gonna be depending
horrible.
on the wall breakers.
Yeah, the wall breaks with the miner. It's a really cheap cycle deck that will do a ton of damage, a ton of cheap damage. Those miners, those wall breakers are basically a pain in a pain. So we'll see what else they can do. The bomber tower that's gonna spawn on the right side lane, and the cannon card, of course, on the left side.
Yeah, cannon card is gonna be coming into this right lane, and now the rocket is gonna be enough to defend. That is really good defense. 6 elixir being taken off from Pix Aguilar, and now he has to be worried about this graveyard. I mean, he has Valkyrie, and probably that is going to be the resource that he's going to be trying to save to counter the graveyard. But so far, there is a lot of damage already being generated on that right side tower, and Miner is just barely starting to generate this chip damage.
Yeah, it's basically starting to do that chip damage on the right side lane, and now the mortar.
Now 570 is trying to force
570.
the Valkyrie.
Yeah, it's again the mortar, and I really don't like the mortar. We've talked about it, and we'll see what else
Well,
they
it might
can do
connect.
right now. And the graveyard gonna do a little bit of damage by 570 on that right side
And the
lane.
goblins fail.
Ooh,
to
the
to
tornado!
Ooh.
But the graveyard's still gonna connect a lot.
And a lot of damage has been dealt by this graveyard already. 10-22, but here comes the wall breakers, also accompanied by the miner. But excellent counter on the defense. Now here comes the next mortar. Here comes the next damage that he's gonna try to bring in from light. And so far, 570 has played this cleanly. Has played this like a book, like the rule book is telling you to. And now we're gonna go into the last 20 seconds of the regular time, and here comes the third graveyard on part of 570.
Yeah, on the side of 570, we'll see how what else he can get, how much he can get right now. We'll see that 771 health left on the right side. The mortar gonna be used against that bomber tower. Gonna do a little bit of damage, and we'll go to the sudden death, the last 2 minutes of the game. We may get close to that 3 times next year, but I really don't think so. I think this is gonna end way quicker than that. That hunch is gonna be used on the right side, and those tiny wall breakers haven't done anything actually.
They haven't been able to connect to the Princess Tower, and now here comes another graveyard. It's gonna have to be defended with the goblins, and now the poison is trying to connect on part of 570. Valkyrie is gonna be there, but it only comes to one more poison. 185 HP left on the right side tower. Just a poison. That's pretty much what it takes to win this match for 570, and he started off with the right feet in this King of the Hill.
Yeah, he's gonna start right, and that rocket that will do a lot of damage.
Poison.
But the graveyard and poison gonna be used up on the right side lane, and that will be it for Campus Monterrey. Light takes on the first point, the first life of Campus Monterrey on this precise King of the Hill.
And also remember, Light has already gone to a series that ended up 2-1, and they went for the reverse sweep. They actually were able to accomplish the reverse sweep against their predecessors, and now they are here in the semifinals because of that. They might as well do it again. They also started with the right feet here in the King of the Hill. They got the first win. 570 performed really well, and 570 was the one actually representing Light in the 1v1 matches.
Yeah, they beat actually against Team NTU. So we'll see what they can get. We actually didn't see One Punch Man right now. So we'll see if he ends up appearing in the rest of the King of the Hill.
As well be the second one, or the third
he may be the guy chosen for the 1v1.
Yep.
Maybe we really don't know. Although I wouldn't really choose him in the 1v1 because of I think he really just has that one archetype, and that's that one type that actually
had a good variety within that archetype.
I think
but
Lava
at
Loon
the
is
end,
really counterable.
Yeah, at the end it's just a Lava Loon, and at the end you have, if you have enough splash damage, if you have enough control of units, you might be able to easily counter this Lava Loon. But we do not know yet what is going to happen now. The second representative of the Borregos is going to come up now. We do not know yet who might that be. It might be Jose. It might be Tona also, who has also already played here in the King of the Hill. He lost actually in the past series. But it might be Johnson, who actually performed really, really well in the last King of the Hill.
Yeah, we'll see who ends up being chosen by the Campus Guadalajara in this second match of the King of the Hill. Let's remember, King of the Hill, 3 lives, 3 lives. Now, well, the Shanghai University, the Shanghai University still has their 3 lives. They still have their 3 representatives, but the university, the Tecnológico de Monterrey, only has 2 lives left, 2 players left. So we'll see how they end up facing each other. They may come back to the series. We have seen this type of comebacks. We actually saw, well, it was really close by Prepatec. And so it may happen, but we will find out in a few seconds when
Yeah,
we go to
probably
the
we're
second
gonna be
match.
seeing Johnson here for the second match of Borregos. It was what they did on the last match on the quarterfinals, and Johnson actually performed really
Yeah.
well. He was the one to finish off the King of the Hill and bring that victory to Campus Monterrey. But we are not sure yet. We already saw 507 being a really good player in the 1v1 matches, and he's gonna be the one to get beaten now by Borregos if they want to stay alive.
Actually, Johnson beat the three guys from
Yep.
their opponents. He won basically the King of the Hill by himself. So we'll see how he ends up facing in this King of the Hill, because he will face either, well, he will face 570 right now,
Yep.
if he's the second one, or he may face, well, and in the future, he may face
Yep.
One Punch Man, and he may face CR 3.5, I think it's the other player.
Yep.
So we'll maybe see who else gets picked for this one. Let's see the second match for the King of the Hill, and let's see who's the representative for the Campus Guadalajara. Of course, it's Johnson 007.
Johnson 007 is going to be coming in, and he is a really good player in this King of the Hill. He already has won 3 matches for Campus Monterrey, and he might as well win another one here. But first, he will have to beat 570 that has played really well, really consistently so far. And he might as well have, we still do not know, it could be an Expo. Maybe we are seeing a really cheap
By 570,
deck
no?
by 570. Yeah, that's correct. And we might
Or
as
a
well see
mortar.
log bait on part of Johnson. And yeah, that is going to be a log bait.
Yeah, it's gonna be a log bait. It actually ends up baiting
With the
log
skeleton
right
barrel
now.
variation.
With the skeleton barrel and a bomber tower, you're gonna be used up by
Ooh.
570. I don't think
Royal
it's an
Pain?
Expo. Maybe it's a Royal Pain. I think it will be kind of normal right now with that
Maybe
bomber
he's
tower.
missing Fisherman and the Royal Giant. I believe 570 could be the 2 cards that are missing. But so far, it actually might look like a really winnable match for 570 again.
Yeah, it actually is.
And we're
Middle
going to
of
be
place.
seeing him trying to do this kind of winning condition. It's going to be an earthquake, so probably he's going to mess up my prediction, and we're going to be seeing maybe Hawk Rider with the earthquake. I'm not sure what could accompany that, but probably that's going to be the win condition on part of 570.
It's actually a really like weird. Yeah, Hog Rider.
Rider.
It's actually not a really common deck by 570. We will actually see another bomber tower used by Johnson. That will be a really big counter against the Hog Rider. I mean, he still has,
But he has
the
Earthquake.
Earthquake. Yeah, that was just what I was about to touch. Because it's really interesting that the Earthquake is going to be accompanied by the Hog Rider. He will obviously destroy the bomber tower before the Hog Rider arrives.
Yeah, actually, that is a really good combination because Bomber Tower is became a really popular building, and Hog Rider lose a little bit of effectiveness when this building came up to popularity. And when the Earthquake came in, it was like a really counter and a really good complement for this specific card. And we are seeing now that the Bomber Tower was forced in the middle of the field to try to avoid the Earthquake, but it didn't get the aggro from the Hog Rider.
Yeah, it didn't, so that will be really bad for Johnson 007 right now. Light that it wants to win this King of the Hill, that they want to get to that last 1v1 and stay on track of that grand finale. Let's see what else they can get. The Skeleton Army gonna be used up by Johnson 007 right now to stop that Knight sudden death. We get to the last 2 minutes of the match.
Overtime has come into the arena, and now we're gonna see that as hard as this might look for Johnson, he is actually not being able to get any kind of value from this log bait. We can see the log that hasn't been actually baited that much because he has enough responses. He has 570 has the archers, 570 has the little skeletons, and he has even the earthquake if things get really nasty on the defense. And now slowly but steady, the earthquake at least is going to be generating damage on that right side tower of Johnson.
Yeah, basically, he may just win with like spells like Earthquake, Fireball. He's gonna use a Fireball right now, and that Earthquake, I just said, is gonna be really, really important, really interesting by Light. And Campus Monterrey right now really doesn't have any response. They're
Yep.
just like waiting because they can't push. They don't have any units. They don't have anything
Last
strong to
50
push. They have the
seconds.
last 50 seconds, the ×3 elixir, and this may be the time for
Earthquake.
570s to finish the game.
He's gonna be saving the Earthquake. He might as well have used there to generate a little bit more of damage, but he wants to make sure that he has enough elixir to be able to defend this next push, and he's probably gonna do so. Larrys are gonna be more than enough to bring down the aggro from what is left of the skeleton barrel, and now here comes the Earthquake. Now here comes the Hawk Rider, and they are gonna try to bring in more damage into that right side lane. But
This will
it is
be the
not enough.
tiebreaker.
Nice barrel, but it is very more the bomber tower that is able to defend. And so far, we only have 10 seconds left.
Nah, this
And
is
if
his
we go to the tiebreaker, this is gonna go for Light once again. 570 has played
the Earthquake.
as clean as possible.
Yeah, the Earthquake gonna be used up in that right side turret, and that will be 570 winning another match for Light for the Shanghai Yaotong University. So we will see the third match, the third representative for the Tecnológico de Monterrey campus, Monterrey. We'll see him facing up against 570. That has been a beast right now.
He has been huge, and remember, we still have 2 more players left in case 570 gets to lose this next match, and we only have 1 player left in King of the Hill for the Tecnológico de Monterrey, Campus Monterrey, and I'm still wondering who might that be.
I think it will be
might
Tona.
be Tona. Tona has already played a few matches. They still have Gallardios, and he have Awesome Feast, but we haven't seen that much from them. They might as well not come up here.
Tona played on the 2v2, so he may be the chosen one. Well, that sounded really cheesy, but he may be the one chosen by Tecnológico de Monterrey, Campus Monterrey, to face up against 570. I mean, he's the last one, so he has to do like a miracle run, basically. He has to win 3 matches in a row in order for the Tecnológico de Monterrey, Campus Monterrey, to pass to the finale. So we'll see how they end up doing. Or, I mean, you just said it. We still have another 2 representatives from the Shanghai
and one of
University.
those might be One Punch Man, who actually won the 3 matches in the King of the Hill in the quarterfinals. We know his archetype, we know what he plays, but he is still there. He's like the psychological person that you do not want to go against.
It really is, and it's going to be interesting because 570, we didn't see him in the last King of the Hill, of course. Because
we saw him in the 1v1, and he had a really huge adaptability, and he has shown already 2 different decks here in the King of the Hill.
But now, my interesting point is, okay, you played 570 in the King of the Hill. Will you play 570 again on the 1v1 in case your university, in case Shanghai University wins?
You might as well, because he has played at least 3-4 different decks so far, and he has been able to manage to get the wins with these so many different decks. So he might as well be the most versatile, the most adaptive player that this squad has, and that could be the best idea to be put on the 1v1.
Yeah, without a doubt, like the best guy you can put on the 1v1 is someone who can adapt on the series, who can change up things, who is very unpredictable. So we'll see how they end up facing, and we'll go to the third match of this King of the Hill between these 2 universities, the campus Tecnológico Monterrey, Campus Monterrey, and Light from the Shanghai Yaotong University. And we're gonna see Tona against 570 right now, Healing Spirit against Healing Spirit, just doing a little bit of hellos.
Hellos, we are a little bit Christmassy here over Tona, and we know it's Luckmas, and we all love this season, but so far we haven't gotten anything for any of these 2 players. Remember, this is the point for this second series, for the King of the Hill series point for Light right now. If they win this, they're going to be tying up the series 1-1, and we're going to be heading now to the 1v1 best of 3. And if that happens, that might look like a second reverse sweep for Light.
Oh yeah, and a fireball, really weird, plays by 570? What? He played that fireball like right beside his sword. I don't know. I think that was a misclick, but
Maybe.
he ended up using
We
it right
might
now.
as well see Golem Elixir from
Ooh,
Tona.
yeah, ooh, Electro Wizard, Electro Dragon, sorry.
Yep. Yeah, this is probably Golem Elixir. He's gonna be the warrior healer
Ooh,
coming
with
in.
Baby Dragon.
And when we get to
These
the
are
double
really
elixir, this
interesting.
could be really, really dangerous because you might as well see a double Golem Elixir, and with the double elixir in the field, that does not mean too much damage when the little elixir guys fall down and give you that extra elixir.
1300 health left on that right side turret for 570. Tona
Royal
with the victory right now. But that Royal Pain, like you said, is gonna do a lot of damage on the right side turret.
Yeah,
Oh,
a lot
the
of
Fisherman.
damage is being done right now, and the Fisherman is going to slow down that turret too, and that is going to go down. That is going to disappear right now.
570,
It
what?
already fell down, but here comes the Golden Elixir, but we are in the double Elixir now. You
The
do
counter
not
push.
want to do this when you are playing Golem Elixir with the Warrior Healer, because what you want to do is to bring the double Golem Elixirs into the field, and now the blobs are just going to give extra Elixir to 570, and he's able to place a second Noble Giant here in the field, and with double Hunters to defend him up too.
And it'll be really hard for Tona to defend in any way right now. 800 health left on the right side turret for Tona. Sorry, for 570.
Yep.
But that Royal Pain is gonna bring that turret health down by the wire. Tornado gonna be used up for changing the aggro, but the time is left.
570 is the guy for
Ooh.
Light right now. He was able to perform. He was able to gain
Wait.
3 wins in a row in the King of the Hill, and now we might as well see a reverse sweep again from Light. We might as well see it happen again because we are left on the 1v1 matches. Who is gonna Light decide to go in the 1v1 matches? It might as well be 570 that has been awesome in these 1v1 encounters.
I mean, he won the last 1v1 they played,
Yep.
and he won the 3 matches on the King of the Hill.
Yep.
So we will have to see who ends up facing each other,
Yep.
and also who will be the representative of
I
the
believe
Tecnológico de
it
Monterrey.
has
Campus
to be
Monterrey.
Johnson, right?
But-
Johnson has been
okay,
the most
I mean,
consistent.
but if it's Johnson,
he
he
has
already
already.
lost.
Yeah.
So like in who do you trust? You know, like it's really hard right now for the Tecnológico de Monterrey Campus Monterrey, because they really like don't have somebody who they can rely on that hasn't lost to 570.
Yeah, that is the real problem here, because pretty much all the players that Borregos actually trusted in, at least in this King of the Hill, at least in the 2v2, have already lost to 570.
Yeah.
And 570 has had also a really good performance in the 1v1 duels, in the 1v1 matches, at least in the quarterfinals. So he has been a really consistent player. Johnson has been too for Borregos, but he already lost, as you said. So who is gonna be representing Borregos is the real question, and how are they gonna manage what they just suffered? They just lost 3 matches in a row in the King of the Hill.
I mean, you called it. Like, Tecnológico Monterrey Campus Monterrey has 5 representatives.
Yep.
We've only seen 3 in these last 2 rounds.
Yep.
So they still have Galardios and Awesome Fist. So we will see if they end up, one of them ends up going into this 1v1. They may be the ace below their sleeves. I don't know. They maybe just
they may be surprised. They
substitutes,
may be like the surprises or the last card that you have there
Yeah.
to try to unbalance your opponent. But we're gonna be seeing what is gonna happen in just a couple of minutes, because I mean, I could be really worried if I were one of the players in Tecnológico de Monterrey, because Light has already been through a reverse sweep. They have already turned around the series that was that they were losing 1-0 and ended up winning 2-1.
And I really wouldn't be surprised, like you said, if we end up seeing 570 again. Like,
Yeah.
he's really been consistent.
Yep.
He has played really well. I don't see a reason why he shouldn't play it, or One Punch Man maybe.
Yep.
I think either one of them can play and can win. So we'll see who they end up choosing.
And you know, something really interesting to happen would be that One Punch Man came in and he actually played something different that other than La Balloon, because we have only see him play La Balloon 3 different times, have 3 different wins with that deck, and make a little changes in that archetype.
Really tiny bits.
But so far, that's all we have seen from him.
Yeah,
La Balloon and La Balloon. That's it. And if he is chosen for the 1v1s and he doesn't play La Balloon, what are you going to do? For what are you going to prepare? Maybe you prepare for the La Balloon and he does not play it at all.
Or maybe he's not even the representative. No,
yeah.
Like it really is like kind of mind games right now for these 2 universities. So we're just seconds away of going into this third match. Well, this third part of the series.
The last series of the series.
Yeah, the last
you could say.
series of the series. This best of 3 1v1. It's really weird to say this series. Yeah, series inside of series. Yeah, it's really interesting, but we will see who ends up winning. This is the last part. This is the last chance. Just this 1v1, best of 3. The first team that wins 2 matches will be going to the grand final against Tecnológico de Monterrey, Campus Guadalajara. So we will see who ends up taking it. And we will go with Pix Aguilar by Campus Monterrey. And Light will bring CR.
CR is going to be the one to be chosen on part of Light. So it's a player that we actually haven't seen on part of this team. And it's going to be really interesting because it is something new, at least on the part of Light.
Yeah.
And we do not know what might happen here. Pix Aguilar already played in the King of the Hill, and I believe that's probably the only match that we saw him playing. And do not recall if he was in the 2v2, but he's going to have this deck again, this really low cost, really high rotation deck that is going to depend on the wall breakers and on the miner.
But it's actually interesting that CR is kind of coming with a split push with the Hog Riders.
Yep.
So we'll see what else they can get. The Fireball obviously going to be used up on the right side. It's actually a bit down with the Mega Knight and the Hog Riders. A really interesting deck by CR right now. We'll see how he ends up winning, because Pix Aguilar with that cycle deck, he may do a lot. My biggest question is how he will defend against that Mega Knight, besides of the Knight, of course.
Yeah, there is really no good response against the Mega Knight. Maybe there's a Hunter, but you need someone to actually be able to tank for him for him to be able to finish up that kill. And another problem that he might encounter is to actually try to beat the Royal Hawks, because there is not enough splash damage for him to be able to deal with those.
Yeah, he basically just have like the archers and the fireball, but the fireball has been used in multiple times against just that magic archer. We're gonna be using those hogs, those tiny royal hogs that are gonna be turning into bacon right now, and we'll see what else they can do. The bomber and the miner and the wall breaker is gonna be used on the right side turret, but the Mega Knight is gonna go on the left side.
Yeah, here comes the Knight to try to defend, and here is a Hunter. Nice defense.
Oh, nice
fireball. Really well played from Pix Aguilar to be able to manage to defend that Mega Knight that might represent a really huge danger on his part. And this is the really huge benefit from having such a low-cost deck. You are able to rotate those spells really quickly. You are able to rotate the Knight really easily. And now a wall breaker is going to connect on the right side, and it's going to start generating this low damage, but consistent as it is.
Yeah, cheap damage, but consistent, as you say. Now let's see the hogs that are going to be turned into bacon with that fireball. And it's amazing, the defense by Pix Aguilar. It has been consistent, little by little, doing the enough damage in order to defend. And now we'll see, basically, Pix Aguilar just has to continue doing this for the remaining of the match. Yeah, just to hold. If we get to the tie break here, he will end up winning because of health So right now he has all the advantages in the world. We're gonna see the miner on the right side turret doing a lot of chip damage, and
Last 70
he is
seconds.
being left.
We're about to enter the triple elixir, and when this starts coming up, we might as well see a lot of Mega Knights, but we might see
Ooh,
also
watch out
a
with the
really,
hogs.
really quick rotation, because
Ooh.
this is what happens. Here comes the fireball again. Here comes the log. There is a really quick rotation.
Yeah.
It is so fast that as soon as the fireball has to hit the ground, probably the second one is already ready to be casted once again, and now the miner is generating a little bit of chip damage on that right side tower. We only have 35 seconds left in the timer, and another bomber tower is going to defend. He doesn't even need the fireball now to defend because the archers are there, and another miner is coming in. CR doesn't even know what to do now.
Yeah, 25 seconds left, and it's actually, you said it, the
Wall
cycle.
breakers again.
Yeah, the cycle from Pix Aguilar is actually amazing. It's actually really good. The
Fireball
bomber
to
tower
defend again.
appearing every single time he needs it. He has the log, he has the fireball, so he has everything he needs. We will see
tower
another bomber tower,
miner
probably. The miner to defend. Now he has a bomber tower. He just has to play time. The overtime is over, and the tiebreaker will go to Campus Monterrey. Pix Aguilar ends up winning that first round, that first match. Now we will go to the second match of this 1v1. Point for Campus Monterrey.
And Pix Aguilar came up with the same deck that he used actually in the King of the Hill, and it was a really, really well played deck right now, because he knew that its win condition, he knew he just had to hold up, he knew that he had to actually spam, rotate as fast as possible when the triple elixir came in, and even though he took a little bit of damage in that right side tower, it was not enough because he was able to rotate quick enough to bring another spell, to bring all the resources that he actually needed to defend.
It was actually really good and really well timed in the sense that he had everything to counter the Mega Knight. He had everything to counter the Hogs, the Royal Hogs. So it ended up being like really well played by him, and he knew perfectly when to use those cards, because you have the card, of course you have the bomber tower, you have the fireball, but you have to know when specifically to use it in order for the Mega Knight to get distracted, in order for the Hog Riders to get for the Hog to get distracted. So he ended up playing that perfectly, and now we will go to the second match of this one big one to see if Tecnológico de Monterrey Campus Monterrey ends up winning and ends up winning their ticket to the grand final.
Pix Aguilar is going to bring up the same deck once again, and remember, this is match point. He's calling well played. We do not know yet if this means that he's probably going to lose or he's probably going to win this next fight, but we are going to see a giant skeleton, a card that has been the sentence for the Shanghai Jiao Tong University so far, a card that has been probably overused by this university and these teams.
Yeah, and so it's gonna be accompanied by an earthquake that will destroy by completely that bomber tower. So we'll see how else it's gonna be. Again, a miner with wall breakers. One wall breaker is gonna connect on that right side turret, but the Sappies are gonna defend without any more trouble, without any further ado. And Pix Aguilar that ends up repeating his deck.
Yeah,
but that earthquake.
Yeah, earthquake could be a really problem here, because that is gonna be really effective against the bomber tower. Sappies are gonna deal a little bit of chip damage on that right side tower, and now the real problem for Pix Aguilar might as well be both the giant skeleton with the earthquake, because earthquake might open up spaces for the giant skeleton to connect, might open up spaces for the hunter to actually be able to defend the giant skeleton better, and you can see it now. The earthquake comes in on the left side. It is yet not enough to destroy that bomber tower, but it's enough to actually do some cheap damage and to force that building to go down, and now the hunter to defend.
Yeah, that was an amazing hunter to defend the wall breakers.
Royal Pain.
And now we'll see the Royal Pain being summoned on the field by CR, but the bomber tower gonna stop him. But of course, the earthquake again to do a lot of damage. That right side turret gonna fall Pretty low right now. Just 800 health left. But the miner and the wall breaker is gonna be used on the right side. They're gonna connect both of them. That was really important for Pix
707.
Aguilar in this precise
661.
moment.
But the problem
Ooh.
comes now. There comes the Royal Giant. Here he's gonna be coming the Earthquake to defend him from that turret. And there is the dead damage from the Giant Skeleton. Royal Pen is gonna be connecting a couple of times. It's just gonna be one because there was a really 2 times actually was able to connect, and now he has to defend. Here comes the wall breakers again. It's gonna connect. Is it gonna? It does, but just one of them. Here comes the next Royal Pen. The poison is gonna be dealing a lot of damage, but it's not gonna be enough yet. 57 HP, 34, and now it's just one log, it's just one miner, and it's gonna be enough. Pix Aguilar has just won this for Campus Monterrey.
What? That miner was really fast at the end and ends up hitting the turret before the Royal Pain got there. It was basically like one attack from each. Like either the Royal Pain hit and that was it, or the miner hit and that was it.
And I was starting to feel really proud about Live because if they had won that, that will be like the curse breaker for that Giant Skeleton. I thought they were going to pull it off.
Really
but it was so close. If they maybe, for example, if that Hunter would have been a good prediction on the miner and have intercepted it, he might as well have won.
Yeah, I think he really like just got out of the way and he really didn't expect it. Yep. So he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm about to win. Yep. Like I'm just one attack away from winning," and he maybe got eager. Like he didn't expect the miner to come out from Pix Aguilar to take down that right side turret.
But nevertheless, the lock was gonna come in, and lock was gonna be enough to finish off that turret. But that was the difference. If he had intercepted the miner, if he had placed a little bit on the right side, the Hunter, he would have won. Literally, that miner, only
the Royal Giant was literally like half a second away from hitting.
Yep.
It was like really, it came really down to the wire, down to that specific last minute interaction that actually Pix timed perfectly. Like he had nerves of steel because he used that miner in the last second. Like I gotta go. Like I gotta use it. If he used it like half a second later, he would have lost.
Yep.
So that was really well timed by him. That was really well played by him in his micro game. And now we have the 2 finalists. We have Tecnológico de Monterrey Campus Guadalajara y Tecnológico de Monterrey Campus Monterrey on this grand final. It's basically it's going home. It's going for the Tecnológico de Monterrey. Despite which campus
pretty much secured the tournament right now. Nevertheless, of which of these 2 campuses is gonna win, they already have secured the tournament for the university, and that is a really huge accomplishment so far. But before we go into the grand final, we're gonna take a little break before that happens. But because remember, today we're gonna have that big grand final between these 2 teams, Borregos against Borregos, pretty much. Tecnológico de Monterrey from Campus Guadalajara against Tecnológico de Monterrey, Campus Monterrey. Both really strong teams.
Yeah, really strong teams, but with a really similar playstyle.
Yeah.
So we'll see how they end up facing in the grand final, but we'll go to a tiny bitty pause before we go to prepare everything else for this grand final. Don't you go everywhere.
We'll be back.
Alright guys, welcome back to the Borrego Esports Invitational. We'll have the last finale.
We're gonna be going into the grand final.
Yeah, the grand final right now between both universities, between the two squads of the Tecnológico de Monterrey.
Yeah.
Both, well, one campus Guadalajara and the other one campus Monterrey. We'll see who ends up winning. They ended up like winning against the other three universities. We saw UC Davis, we saw the guys from the Shanghai University, and the guys from the Singapore University, Nanyang Technological University from Singapore, and they actually are the last university standing, basically.
Yeah, they beat everyone else down, and they are the last ones left. It's all Tecnológico de Monterrey right now, and it's all between Guadalajara and Monterrey. So they're gonna be facing each other off, and it is prognosticated to be a really interesting match because both of these teams tend to have a really aggressive styles. We have seen really some different variations between the decks that they have used, and it's gonna be really interesting. Mainly the King of the Hill matches because, also something that we need to tell you that we forgot to tell is that the format is going to be changing a little bit. We're going to start off with the 2v2 matches, just as always, but this is going to be a best of 5 series, and we're going to start off after the 2v2 matches. We're going to have 3 1v1 series. All of them are going to be best of 3. And if it is needed, the tiebreaker is going to be the King of the Hill.
Yeah, it's actually going to be a long finale. It's actually going to be a really long series. So we're going to see how they end up facing each other. With, all of these parts inside the best of 5 are best of 3s, except obviously for the King of the Hill because it's King of the Hill. So we can have a lot of matches. So we'll see how they end up facing each other. When we're talking about it, both universities have a really similar playstyle.
In fact, this might as well be the most aggressive 2v2 we have seen so far because these two teams have a really aggressive playstyle, have showed really aggressive
in a different way. I think Campus Guadalajara has like a more like a beatdown type of aggressiveness, and Campus Monterrey has more
a little bit more slow pace, you could say that Guadalajara is, and Monterrey might be a little more explosive.
More like a cycle deck, you know, like cheap troops, like cheap damage,
quick cycles, quick low cost cards, and that might as well be what the pressure turns into in favor of Monterrey. But we're gonna go into the first 2v2. This is gonna be the start of this series. Remember, it's a series on the best of 5, so the first team that actually gets 3 points in the series is gonna be the winner. And the 1v1 matches are gonna be really interesting because you're gonna have to decide which player are you going to send into the 1v1 matches, and if he wins, if you send him again, if he loses, if you're gonna be keeping him or giving him a second chance after losing one. And that could be a really interesting way to get into these new matches and into this new format for the grand finale.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting from both of these teams. So we'll see how they end up facing each other, and we'll go right into this first match. The 2v2, the first match of the 2v2. We'll have on the top side the guys from Campus Monterrey, Tona and Johnson 007, and on the bottom side, Campus Guadalajara, Danny and Oscar San. Both of these, the 4 of these guys have been the representatives of their university on the 2v2, and they will stay the same.
Yeah, they're going to stay the same. They're going to keep going with what they have decided to do. And they're going to try to be consistent with it. It's a Healing Spirit that connects on the left side tower. Nothing to be worried about. A little bit of cheap damage right there. And now, Giant Skeleton, a card that we have seen a lot of times now, over and over again in these 2v2 matches. And now it's going to be taken with the Campus Monterrey right here.
Yeah, they're gonna do a lot of damage right now. That Tesla tower gonna be used up by Oscar San just to stop right now, and the miner on the left side ends up being literally stopped by
X-Blue on the 2v2.
That's new.
Something that we haven't seen on 2v2, and that is going to be really, really interesting right now. Let's see if they can actually accomplish to or manage to defend the Expo and put the double Expo in the field. And if they can manage to do so, they might as well get this win, because the Expo is connecting right now on the left side tower, and it's going to generate a lot of damage. This is a really huge play from Campus Guadalajara.
Yeah, it's a really huge play. The Mega Minion gonna be spawned against the Hunter right now, and it'll be a little bit of damage right in the left side lane. But Campus Guadalajara already has the advantage on the health, and a big chunk of health on that left side turret for Campus Monterrey is already gone.
Yep, already gone. More than half of the health of that turret, it's gone closely to half. And in only one Expo rotation, we might as well see the double Expo now that we are into the double elixir, the last 50 seconds of this match. But here comes the balloon. How are they going to stop it? There is only one archer. Really good tornado to win a lot of time. But here is the Tesla tower. It's connecting on the giant skeleton, and now it is going to focus on the balloon. No damage taken on the turret on the left side. And here comes the graveyard. Here comes the fireball, and also the poison now to defend on part of Campus Monterrey. 800 HP on the left, and nice dead damage on part of Campus Monterrey to start or finish off that defense.
Yeah, but those Tesla towers will defend perfectly for Campus Monterrey. That tornado gonna be used excellent. And the binder tower, obviously, the balloon is gonna be stopped by the Tesla tower right now. And that fireball gonna do a little bit more damage, and we'll go to the sudden death the last 2 minutes of the game. And now the Campus Guadalajara has everything right for them. Like, they have everything lined up.
Yeah, they just set up pretty much a win condition. Peck is going to try to defend probably. They're going to have the Tesla tower now, and this is going to be a really good defense. Freeze coming up. That is not going to be enough to secure the damage from the balloon so far. And we're on the last 1 minute and a half in the sudden death right now. 490 health on the left side tower from Campus Monterrey, and this is a really good start. We haven't even seen a second Expo yet on part of Campus Guadalajara, because they have already changed their win condition to defend and to make this cheap damage happen between the graveyard on the left side.
Yeah, and that tornado is going to be used up by Campus Guadalajara again for the defense.
Graveyard and fireball.
And that, it's basically like just a graveyard and fireball cycle
Double
right
fireball
now.
too.
There's going to be used up on the left. There's the fireball. Now the poison going to be defending. The graveyard not going to do any damage. But it's basically just a one fireball cycle right now. The problem is reaching that cycle, but the double balloon that will be stuck under tracks by that amazing tornado. And
nothing to do more.
Yeah, there's nothing for Campus Monterrey. It's actually real hard.
107 health. It's all that is left. Here comes the graveyard. There is a fireball. They know this. They just throw the poison because they know this is already lost. The graveyard is going to be the one to be securing this. But on 30 seconds, 28 seconds left on the sudden death on the overtime, Campus Guadalajara is able to get the win.
Yeah, they're able to get the win. Real well played by them. And now it has, it comes to Campus Monterrey if they come up with the victory on the second match, or if Campus Guadalajara will have their first point of this best of 5 series. Let's see how it ends up going. Campus Guadalajara ends up being like really concentrated and really like straightforward with their plan. They knew exactly what they were doing. They knew exactly how they wanted to play it, with those Tesla towers, with those graveyard, with fireball.
The Expo,
so the Expo was actually really interesting.
Yeah, because we only saw one single Expo during this match, and that one single Expo
did a lot of
damage. Almost half of the health of the Princess Tower on the left side was dealt by that Expo, and after that we did not see any other Expo. That Expo deck was just there to defend, was there to be using the Tesla towers, be using the tornadoes also to bring the balloons back and to avoid any kind of damage coming into the left side tower.
Yeah, it was actually really interesting for an interesting approach by Borregos Guadalajara.
Yep.
We actually haven't seen something like that, especially we haven't seen an expo on
And I believe
the
they didn't
2v2.
expect it.
Yeah, I believe that was like really unexpected. But we're gonna go to the second match of this 2v2, and let's see who's gonna take it. Campus Guadalajara on the top side and Campus Monterrey on the bottom side. We'll have the band of the graveyard and a lava hound used up by Tona.
Lava Hound coming up, the first card that is shown right now by Tona in this moment. And we are going to be seeing what that is accompanied with. Maybe a balloon is going to be coming in, maybe a clone in this 2v2 could be a really huge possibility. Even having a skeleton, a giant skeleton with the clone, maybe a skeleton barrel for that too. And now we're going to be seeing double Electro Dragons right now on the field. And they might as well have really similar decks right now because we are seeing a lot of dragons on part of Borregos Guadalajara, and that could be a lot of pressure in the sky.
I think at least Johnson 007 and Danny have really similar decks, but I think Oscar Shan, yeah, they will have really similar decks. What I'm really intrigued about is Tona going for those electric spirits. Like, we haven't seen them by now. So, it's a double Lava Hound by Campus Monterrey.
Double Lava Hound, they're going to be accompanying that with the Infernal Dragon that is going to stop the Lava Hound of Campus Guadalajara right now. It's going to generate a little bit of damage. They might as well have a sap to try to reset that. It was the lightning, but it came a little bit late for that, but the damage has already been dealt. 1471 on that left side tower, and now they're trying to come with the counter push. Let's see if it is possible for them to achieve this, because Campus Monterrey are already generating a lot of damage with that miner that was being helped by the Lava Hand that was tanking the whole damage from the Baby Dragon and from the Princess Tower.
Yeah, it was actually really well played by Campus Monterrey, but they left this Baby Dragon untouched, and it will do a lot of damage. Now we'll see their response, the answer by Campus Monterrey. With this Lava Hound and Baby Dragon, it will be a mirror for Campus Guadalajara. Let's see what else they can get. We'll see a mini P.E.K.K.A. facing up against the Dark Prince, obviously winning that match, and the Fireball used up by Tona to try and attack right now. Campus Monterrey is eager for this win.
They really want to have it. They really want to start with a win with the right feet, and they are generating a lot of troops. The little Lava Houndies are going to come in right now, and the big Lava Hound is there to support them. We only have 10 seconds left. The first tower is down in this specific moment, and there is nothing left to do from Campus Guadalajara. We're going to go to the tiebreaker in this first 2v2 series.
Yeah, we'll go to the third match on this best of 3 2v2. It's actually gonna go down to the wire. These two universities that have, we've seen it, literally the same playstyle. So we'll see how else they can.
Really similar in what they are trying to play, in what they are trying to bring,
and when they play it and everything. It's really like, well, you could say it was like the similar case with the Shanghai University, that they really basically played down to the wire, down to the same type of strategy. And Tecnológico de Monterrey, obviously, with these two campus, are basically playing the same game, like the same mindset. So we're gonna see what's the change up for this third match.
Yeah, and this is something that we might have actually seen in case we had seen a match between two Shanghai teams. They having a really similar playstyle, them having the same ideas at the same specific moment, just like we just saw right now. Both of these teams have thought of having flying decks, aerial decks that are going to be trying to bring pressure on the air, and the one that performed better in this case was Monterrey, and they were able to tie up this specific series on the 2v2 1-1.
It's actually really interesting, so we'll see the last match of this 2v2, the third match, and let's see who's taking the first point of this best of 5 series. We'll go with the 1-on-1, and we'll see the ban of the Giant Skeleton actually by Campus Guadalajara, but it appears that Campus Monterrey is gonna repeat their last deck.
They are gonna repeat the Lava Hound. They're gonna bring up the Electro Dragon too, and they're gonna bring the Fireball to deal with Magic Archer on the right side. And now the Flying Machine. Campus Monterrey want to get this win. They knew that last match it worked really well, and they try to repeat it now. Flying Machine is gonna try to connect on that cannon card, and already a little bit of damage has been generated on that right side tower. 1903 on that Princess Tower, and they are gonna bring a bridge spam on their side. Campus Guadalajara already against the ropes because the Monterrey has this Goblin Cage to actually bring the aggro of the Battle Ram, and that could be a really important factor, but they are eating up a lot of damage on that right side tower.
Yeah, they ended up taking that basically on both sides, and we'll see the Bandit not being defended. Actually, it will do the charge damage, and that balloon will connect on a first time, and the death damage at the end won't connect with anything. The Lava Hound on the right side being accompanied by the Electric Dragon, but he will actually not do anything else right now. The defense from Campus Guadalajara, it's actually not coming up for that Lava Hound.
And they do not have Elixir to defend this. The Flying Machine is a real problem because it's going to generate a lot of damage. Archers are going to be coming into the field, and they're trying to finish off the Flying Machine, but the damage has been done already. They use the poison to defend, but it's only about 42 HP actually on that right side tower. It's just a cycle of the luck to be able to finish that off, and we still have 40 seconds left on the match, at least on the regular time.
Yeah, Campus Monterrey is going to win that first tower on the right side. Now we'll see how it ends up going in these last 30 seconds of the regular time.
The freeze, it's going to connect.
The freeze is going to go amazing.
One.
This death damage that will do a lot of damage. And that Lava Hound on the left side that will be defended by the Archers, just like you said it. And the Electro Wizard on the right side, but that's a lot of dragons.
A lot of dragons are coming in, are flying by on the right side. Flying Machine is going to be supporting them on the distance. And now the Miner is trying to collect a little bit of cheap damage on that right side tower. But excellent sap on part of Campus Guadalajara. 40-32 on that right side tower is all that is left of HP for that Princess Tower. And now the Bandits are going to try to connect. They still have the balloon, they still have the freeze, they have the poison, they have the sap, they have the low. They could pretty much spam spells on that right side tower and make it fall.
The problem is that Lava Hound with those many flying dragons right now, it's really tough for Campus Guadalajara to try and defend that many areas. Yeah, it's actually really hard. They had to spend a lot of resources, and that poison is going to be used up on the right side turret. You said it. It's basically just a poison, spell spam, and they need to do it because if not, they're going to lose.
Yeah, here comes the one. They're going to try to pressure up this last turret. And
or not?
Not even the freeze. It's going to connect easily on that right side tower. They took the opportunity. They knew they hadn't spent a lot of elixir on that Lava Hound on the left side, and they just took the chance. They secured this first win for Campus Guadalajara, and now we are 1-0 in this series.
Yeah, we're 1-0 on this best of 5 series. Yep. That was the 2v2. Now we are heading into the three 1-on-1s that we have.
1v1.
So we'll see. We have at least 2 of them. We'll see at least 2 of them.
Yep.
In the given case that Campus Guadalajara ends up winning both of them. But we will see who the representatives will gonna be, who they are gonna face. I am expecting Campus Guadalajara to play with Jose, and I am expecting maybe, I don't know, Johnson or Johnson for Campus Monterrey. I think they have been like some of the better players in this 1v1 series. So we'll see who they end up choosing for this precise match. Why? Because it may be a really important one. This first match is basically like if Campus Guadalajara ends up winning, they're match point.
Yep.
They're one only 1 series away.
1 point away exactly just to win this series, and they really want to keep going with
Yeah.
these steps that they are taking right now. And if they keep with this momentum, if they can keep this high stability that they have right now, they might as well be able to take these 2 matches in a row and secure the finals for themselves. But it's not gonna be easy. They're facing off against their counterparts, the representatives from Campus Monterrey, and they have played really well too. Johnson has been a really good player in these 1v1 matches. Pix, as you said, also was able to win the last 1v1 in the semifinals.
Yeah.
And at least these two players might as well be one of the best options for Monterrey. And as you said, Jose, we only have seen him once, but and he actually lost.
Yeah, so we'll see how he ends up choosing. Actually, it's Jose by Campus Guadalajara and Pix for Campus Monterrey. Let's see how they end up
Expo
going in this first match. And it's going to be an Expo by Pix Aguilar, something I think he has already played. A balloon going to be used up by Jose. And obviously,
I really like
that
the balloon choice.
Tesla Tower is going to defend it without any trouble. But it
it's
will
gonna
connect a
nice tornado.
But the death damage gonna activate the King's
Look
Tower.
at how much damage the Knight and the Miner did on that left side tower, and the King Tower didn't even connect with the Miner, so he was able to pull off another 2 or 3 more hits on that left side tower. 1505 on that same tower. Snowball to do a little bit more of chip damage and to start spending a little bit more elixir so it doesn't rip off. And now with the quick rotation that Jose has just presented to us, it might as well be a really good deck against the Expo.
Yeah, it may be a really good deck. We also have the Goblin Cage gonna defend by Jose, and that Expo will be really, really tough for Pix Aguilar right now. We'll see what else he can do, and that Barbarial obviously gonna defend against the Expo. He's gonna get a little bit misguided for the Tesla Tower, but anyhow, the death damage of the Bumper Tower is gonna connect. Excellent, and just 900 health left on that left side.
900 health, 945 exactly on that Princess Tower on the left side tower, and we are gonna go to the double elixir right now. The Expo hasn't found effectiveness against the Balloon. Balloon is a really good counter against these buildings. Tesla Tower pretty much falls against the first match, and actually the first hit, and actually Expo does not have enough aerial counters to deal with the Balloon.
Yeah, it's actually really hard. Like, I think the only real counter for the Balloon for Pix Aguilar is the Rocket.
Tower. Tesla Tower, Rocket, maybe the Ice Wizard, but they do not generate that much damage.
No, like at the time for the, at the time you take down the Balloon, the damage has already been dealt, you know?
Yep.
So that's a real problem for Pix Aguilar right now, and Jose just defending. He's just playing right now. He knows he can win with another push, and that's what Pix Aguilar just wants to hold up, because he knows his Expos aren't gonna do anything.
Yep. They are not going to connect. They do not have enough space. He needs to invest a lot of resources, a lot of elixir just to deal with that specific bow. Even we have seen him to do this combo from Tornado and Rocket just to be able to deal with the pushes that Jose is presenting right now. And now we're going to be seeing a Knight to defend and taking the aggro on the Expo. Miner is going to try to bring up damage into the Expo. That is going to fall without any kind of problem. And now probably a next balloon is going to be coming into the field to try to push into this left side tower. But elixir-wise, they're really, really in the same condition. But if this match goes to a tiebreaker, this is going to go to Jose.
Yeah, this may go to Jose. It's 1 minute left. But that triple elixir may be good for Pix Aguilar with the double Expo. I don't know. It may work. It's really hard right now.
Yeah, even if he had the double Expo on the field, even a triple Expo would not be probably enough to get this match back. He would need to have a really, really good aggressive Expo to be able to connect like pretty much full health against the turret, because we
But
only
those double
have
goblin cages,
30
like,
seconds left right now. But the cage, the knight, it's gonna connect
ooh,
on the right side, but that snowball is gonna be enough to defend or to save enough HP on that right side tower for him to be able to secure this match.
left miner.
20 seconds left on the clock.
Left miner on the left side lane. We'll see what else he can do. The bar barrel just gonna do a little bit of damage. But that Expo on the right side is still alive, and it may do a little bit of damage.
5
but
seconds.
5 seconds left won't be enough for Pix Aguilar, and this will be the first win for WA Jose from Campus Guadalajara.
Tiebreaker is going to be coming in, and that is the one turret falling down the left side tower. And this is the first win for Jose, at least in this series, and also in this tournament, at least since the semifinals and the quarterfinals, I mean, because we have only seen one match from Jose, or he actually lost that against one of the players from Shanghai. And now he's able to take his first win in this series. He might as well get another one because he's a really good player, he's a really consistent player, and he tends to be one of the most adaptive players that this squad has.
We'll see, because actually Pix was really close. I mean, it was hard because of the Expo, but it was just from the
But if you saw, he took a lot of damage on that right side tower because he invested a lot of resources trying to push and trying to get enough health from that right side tower, and then he wasn't able to defend that what was left from that push on the right side tower. And even with that, it wasn't enough. It was a good try, it was a good idea, but it was too late and it was not enough.
I think with another deck, he is probably
He
gonna
might as
come
well
back.
have a better
I think it was just like the deck, like we know Expo is really like hard to pull out. It's a really like situational deck that you can really like use. So we'll see how it ends up being used right now by Pix and Jose in the next match. We'll have the second match of this 1v1. Sorry, of the second of this first. This first 1v1 of this series, the best of 5. So we'll see what else they do.
Yeah, let's see if they are able to put this up. Pix already showed us a really big cycle deck on the first 1v1s that he played in the semifinals. He might as well bring that up again. We're already seeing a low-cost deck on his board. Pix Aguilar already sent the Lares, already sent the Knight, and Jose on his board has actually played that kind of deck too, and we are seeing a Tesla Tower again, so this might as well be Expo again.
Yeah, this might be, so we'll see what else they can get in a log right now on WA Jose. That will probably bring, I don't know, maybe Hogs? Royal Hogs? Perhaps, I don't know.
Maybe it could be a Lava Hound too, because we have a flying machine. We have to see at least a couple cards more for us to know.
It's a Lava Hound.
And the Expo, of course, on part of Pix Aguilar, but it is connecting now. There is not enough ground defenses on part of
none.
Jose. There is pretty much none, as you just said, and it is connecting a lot of damage. 1200 right now, 1082 HP left on that right side tower. But now the Lava Hound, how is he going to defend? How is Pix Aguilar going to answer against this? The rocket is coming in, but the little hand is left still. How much damage are they going to be able to connect? It's a lot. The answer is a lot. Even pretty much the whole life or that right side tower is already gone.
I literally would have given the victory right now to Pix Aguilar because of that amazing Expo, but that push from
here comes
Jose was amazing.
Expo is really, really bad after you lose your first tower, because it is so easy to get to that Expo. It's so hard to actually get it to connect against a building. Now he has to be forced to start trying to deal damage to the left side tower, because if he tries to go for the right side, is not gonna make it. He's not gonna make it.
Yeah, it's basically useless because you can just spawn troops right beside him.
Yep.
So it basically can't deal any damage. But on this left side turret, it's basically unprotected, and he's gonna have the double expo. One on the right side, one on the left
Ooh,
side.
the
That
cage.
timing from the cage was horrible, and WA Jose is gonna lose both of his turrets right now against that expo.
Yeah, that was, at least the cage was really, really sad on part of Jose because
It was bad timing.
really bad timing actually, and now the little Houndies are not gonna be able to perform enough damage because there is a King Tower now. King Tower is gonna finish them off, and from one moment to another, this second series, the first 1v1, just tied up.
And it was literally from a blink of an eye. Like,
Yep.
I really thought that Jose made a.
He had a good advantage.
He had a really good advantage. Like, he took the first tower, and you were saying it. Like, when you take the first tower, it's really hard to pull off what Pix did.
Yep.
But he did it. Like, that
And he
golden
made the
cage on
right
the right
choice.
side was really, really bad timed. He didn't have the right timing. It took like a half a second late. So it didn't got the aggro of the Expo. The turret got the aggro of the Expo first. And that left side was basically the same. Like, it was just that Jose didn't have a clear defense. Well, he didn't have a defense. Let's leave it just like that. He didn't have a defense. And
None
they
of
were
his
trying.
players had a defense for each
Yeah.
other's deck.
It was basically
But-
like a base breeze.
It was, and the big problem here was that Pix responded automatically to what just had happened. He lost the right side tower, and he know I cannot push the right side tower now because Expos are gonna die because
He knew.
Jose is able to pull troops or pull cards inside or just in the face of my Expo. So I'm gonna go for the left side tower. I'm gonna push that side. It's the only chance for me to win this match, and he actually performed really well because as soon as he knew that tower was down, he went for the left side and he secured that first tower. And as soon as that was able to be secured, he pulled the second Expo and he tried to pressure again the right side tower because Jose had already invested a lot of resources on the left side.
But it's actually like you can see that Pix knows his Expos. You know, like you just said it. He responded so fast.
Yep.
Like he knew basically like, oh, okay, my right side turret just died. I can put my Expo there. Let's put it on the left side. It's double elixir. He had the timing right, so he just like got the left side and then put the other Expo on the right side.
Yep.
It was amazing because it was well timed enough to take the both of the turrets at the same time. And now we have the last match of this best of 3 of this first 1v1. Let's see who ends up taking it: Pix Aguilar or WA Jose.
Pix Aguilar is going to bring down this fast-paced deck right now with the wall breakers, with probably the miner too, and now he's going to face off against a cemetery, against this specific card that might as well be a really good counter to what he is trying to propose. The defense is really well played for Jose, and now Graveyard is going to be a really important factor in this match because there is not enough defense on Pix Aguilar's side to be able to defend it. Maybe the archers could be a good idea. Maybe the archers might as well be there in time for him to be able to defend the Graveyard, but that is pretty much all that he has.
Yeah, it's basically like a really similar deck. Well, in the given case of Jose, it's both like cheap damage.
Yep.
So we're gonna see how it ends up being used. Like Pix Aguilar has, as you said, those wall breakers and the miner that will be doing a lot of damage. If they get there, you know, that's the problem. If they get to the turret, and that will be like the big problem because of this Barbarial.
Jose has Barbar.
Yeah.
That's a really good response.
That's literally like the best counter against the wall breakers, because if they don't really have like a tank in front of them, like you can just take them down.
Yeah, the thing would be for Pix Aguilar to be able to synchronize both the miner and the wall breakers, for the miner to be able to tank for the wall breakers. But So far, it has been a
Ooh,
really clean
mortar.
match for Jose, and he's bringing up a mortar, a variation from the graveyard deck that we haven't really seen so far with the mortar.
It's
This
usually
might as well be really good against the wall breakers.
It's actually really interesting. The mortar with the graveyard. I think I haven't actually seen this type of archetype. Let's see how it ends up like line up. But I don't think it's a bad combination. It's actually really interesting. Now we're gonna see
Wall breakers.
that wall breakers
Connect.
and miners on the
Ooh,
right
both of them
side,
did.
and it did a
the
lot
graveyard on
of
the left.
damage. 1500
Graveyard
health
portion.
left on the right side. But Jose is responding on the left side
500,
with
400,
that
300.
graveyard. 300 health left, and it's just a little bit of a little health left.
Yeah, 363 left on that left side tower. Good match is already being called by Pixel Aguilar. He maybe knows that this might as well have ended just already. Another graveyard is going to be coming in. It's generating a little bit of damage. It's going to be the poisoning, and that is more than enough for Jose to secure this first 1v1 series.
It was an amazing 1v1 series by WA Jose. He ends up taking it home.
Yep.
He ends up winning. And now we'll see the second point for the Tecnológico de Monterrey
They're going to
Campus
be heading
Guadalajara.
into match point.
Yeah, they are basically on match point right now. Let's
Yep.
remember this is a series, a best of 5 series. So the first team that reaches the 3 points will end up winning. The first point was the
The
2v2,
2v2.
and now this was the second point, the first 1v1. We still have a lot of left. We may even get to the King of the Hill. That is the fifth point, the last point. We may get there only if the Tecnológico de Monterrey, Campus Monterrey,
Yep.
ends up taking us there.
Yeah, they need to take this next
Yeah.
1v1 match. They need to win it
If
if
they
they want to stay in the series, because otherwise, if Campus Guadalajara takes this next match, it's gonna be the end of it. Guadalajara will become our first champion in this Borregos Esports Invitational Cup, and they will be the ones securing the first win, the first championship.
Yeah, they will be our first winners, so we will see who ends up taking this next match. It needs to be Borregos Campus Monterrey, because if not, we'll be saying goodbye to them and just crowning the Campus Guadalajara right now. So we'll see what they will bring and who they will bring to the next match. Because they could repeat the same players. It can happen. Or they could bring some others really, really
Because
different.
Pix wasn't really that far away from winning. I mean, he
was
went
really
to
close.
1. He was close, and he knew that some of their decks weren't going to be able to pull it off against what Jose was presenting. At least in that last match, he knew that he didn't have a good answer for the graveyard, and at the end, if he had better matchups in the decks, he might as well have won against Jose.
Yeah, it was. I think it was just like unfortunate, like for him, especially on the first deck, on the first cycle. Well, sorry, on the first Expo deck that he played. I mean, he probably should have played something different. I don't like. I don't really like.
I don't know,
the
because
Wall
the
Breakers
second match
miner on the I mean the
on the
Wall
third one?
Breakers miners on the third. I think Wall Breakers are really easy to counter. So I think that's not like the
And in fact,
best.
that this deck became so popular that Valkyrie even came back into the meta just to try to counter this specific deck. And now we're gonna go into the second 1v1. It's gonna be Tona on part of Campus Monterrey, and it's gonna be Oscar San, who has had a really good performance in these 1v1s from Campus Guadalajara.
And now Oscar San is the one with the Expo.
Yep.
We said it. These guys basically play the same playstyle. Like they have a really similar playstyle, and we're gonna see it on this match. The defensive Expo is gonna be amazing against that that Barbarian Hut, but will it be enough? That's the real question.
Will it be enough? We are about to find out, my friend, because this match, remember, is match point right now for Campus Guadalajara. If they win this 1v1 series, they will be crowned as our first champions. And now we are going to be seeing a Golem Elixir deck on part of Tona, because we are seeing already the Healer Warrior, and this is pretty much 100% an Elixir Golem.
Yeah, it's probably an Elysian Golem. You said it. It has the healer warrior, the warrior healer, and the barbarian hut. So it's gonna be that elixir golem gonna be used up by Tona from Campus Monterrey. Let's see how it ends up winning. But that Tesla Tower and the aggressive X-Bow that will just destroy the elixir golem.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good answer, and it's going to be really hard for Tona to actually be able to get that elixir column to the end of the tower. And maybe when the double elixir comes in and when he tries to bring in the double elixir into the field, might as well be able to get enough value with the healer warrior. But so far there hasn't been an opportunity for Tona to be able to pull that off. Double elixir might open up that opportunity.
But also, it might open up the opportunity for the double X. So we'll see how it ends up working. And that golem is going to be used up right now. All again gonna be stopped by the X-Bow without any problem, without any further ado, and without any kind of respect. That Oscar San is actually using his X-Bows defensively. That's the problem right now, that he can't use them offensively because he really doesn't have the opportunity, the timing.
Maybe he's gonna try to wait for the triple elixir, and maybe that will open up the opportunity for him to have the double X-Bow or maybe even the triple X-Bow. But the problem will be how many golem elixirs would Tona be able to pull off at that triple elixir. He currently has a double healer warrior in the field, and they are going to be pushing up. They're going to be generating a lot of value. They're going to be healing each other a lot, and they already got into the Princess Tower in the left side. The golemites, the bubbles are going to be dealing a little bit of damage on the right side tower, but the healer warriors got that tower to 902 health.
Yeah, it's actually really, really low for Oscar San right now. Tona that has the whole advantage, and we're heading into the last minute and 15 seconds of the game. Let's see who's gonna take this, because right now Tona just has to hold. He just has to put troops on the map in order for the X-Bows to do nothing, and that will be more than enough in the tiebreaker for them to win. And that's probably the defense that he's gonna come out with. Elixir, triple elixir right now. The X-Bow doing a lot of damage on that right side turret, but it's gonna be destroyed by the baby dragon, and Electro Dragon just gonna come up to the right side lane. 40 seconds left, and Tona has all the advantage.
He has all the advantages, he has all the opportunities, he has all the openings for him to take this first match of the second 1v1 series. And the Golem Elixir already destroyed that right side X-Bow. 584 on the left side tower. The last 20 seconds on the clock are going to be ticking down now. And the second Golem Elixir is coming in. The Healing Warrior is going to connect on the right side tower. And this is probably going to end up here. 10 seconds left, but they are not going to run down. They are going to take the right side tower. And such a huge play from Tona.
And you said it. With the triple elixir, the golem, the elixir golems, the battle healers, everything was just right. He just had a lot of troops. The X-Bows weren't able to defend against that, and it ended up being the win for Tona on this first match
and
of
I believe
the second best of.
This is the first win of Tona too.
Really?
At least on 1v1 matches. I believe he has won the 2v2s, but on 1v1s, on King of the Hills, this is probably the first win of Tona.
I'm not quite sure. I think he just played like one King of the Hill, so I really don't know right now. So we'll see what else they can get. He still has at least one match left in order for him to win. If he wins, the next match. They will have 2-1 in favor of Campus Guadalajara.
Yep.
In the case that he loses, we'll go to the third match of that best
1v1.
of 3.
Yep.
So we will see what ends up happening. We're just a few seconds away from this second match of the second
Yep.
1v1. It's really hard to keep track of how many matches and how many 1v1. It's really this series within a series is just it's just mind-boggling.
In summary, we're right now in the third series right here of the huge series between these two teams.
Yeah.
So we just went into the 2v2 matches where Guadalajara came at top 2v1.
Yep.
Now the second one was a 1v1 best of 3 where Guadalajara again came on top by Jose again 2-on-1. And now we're on the third series. This is another 1v1 on a best of 3, and this is Tona against Oscar San. Tona already has the advantage 1-0.
Yeah, he has the advantage for Campus Monterrey, for Tecnológico de Monterrey, Campus Monterrey. So we'll see how he ends up taking on this match. It will be Tona with, I think he's gonna repeat the same deck, but Oscar San is gonna come out with an Earthquake, Miner, and Wall Breakers. Interesting deck.
Interesting deck, you just said it. And this is an interesting variation on part of Oscar San. I'm not sure how much it can actually work. He's already having to take that damage on the left side tower. He knows that he spends more elixir on that. He's going to be at a disadvantage, and that could be really important. So he's forced to take the damage, and we are going to see Golem Elixir again on part of Tona. We see the Healing Warrior, and we already saw the Barbarian Hut. So this is probably, again, Golem Elixir.
Yeah, it's probably a Golem Elixir. We're talking about it. Tona has the same deck as before, and it may work for a second time. Let's see how he ends up playing it. It will probably, again, go down to the wire, go down to that double, triple Elixir, because that's when the Golem Elixir, the Elixir Golem, the Valor Killers really like get into play.
Yeah, they will get into the play, and when it's really easy for this deck to be able to pull out double Elixir Golems on the field, and even double battle heroes, and it gives a lot of sustain to these both cards. And now we're gonna see Golem pushing into the left side. Here comes a lot, but it's not gonna generate enough damage for them to be able to finish off that card. And you can see how much healing the battle healer is doing right now. And the Elixir Golem is not falling down. He already took down the first tower on the left side, and there is really no answer from Oscar San. He might as well have pulled out the Valkyrie, but the Valkyrie did not focus on the Elixir Golem, and now he's probably gonna lose the King Tower now.
But watch out with the left side, that the Miner is gonna do a little bit of chip damage. 950 health left on the King's turret.
Yep.
It's really been a great push by Tona, and the problem is, the difference between this and the last match is that Oscar San had a lot more defenses for this type of deck, because he could take on the Elixir Golem with the Expo, but it'll be more than enough for Tona to get on this match and win the 2-0 on this 1v1, on this second 1v1. So now the scoreboard is 2-1 in favor of Tecnológico de Monterrey, Campus Guadalajara, 1 for Tecnológico de Monterrey, Campus Monterrey. So we will see how they end up facing. We'll go to the third 1v1, the last 1v1 actually.
Still, it might be the match point for Guadalajara. Remember, they already have 2 wins in the board. They are 2v1 in the global scoreboard. And they're just missing one more series to be able to close this up and to win the championship right now. But so far, Monterrey has woken up. They already have or took a breath of inspiration, a breath of life, and they are still in this series. Tona just made a huge work with this Elixir Golems decks and managed to pull out a 2-0 win in these 1v1 matches.
But let's say Campus Monterrey can't can't make a mistake right now.
Yeah.
They literally have to go all in. They
have to
literally
win it
can't
all.
lose. They have to win this 1v1, and then they have to go to the King of the Hill
And they have to win
and
that
win
too.
the King of the Hill.
Yep.
So that will be a tough match for them.
And a huge reverse sweep.
And a huge reverse. Yeah, without doubt, they have been playing real well.
Yep.
So we'll see if they can do it. But Campus Guadalajara also have something to say, and we'll see in this third 1v1
Yep.
who ends up taking and who will be the representative. I would expect, Guadalajara to take on Jose, maybe to take Jose as the representative, but I don't know who may be the one for Campus Monterrey. Maybe Johnson.
Johnson didn't come out on the first 1v1, so he's still a good player that has performed really well, both on the King of the Hill and both on 1v1 matches.
Yeah.
Pix actually surprised us in the semifinals and was able to perform really, really well, but wasn't able to pull off the win against Jose. So if Jose is gonna come up again, probably you do not want to bring Pix again because of the decks that he has already played against Jose and hasn't been able to pull off the win.
I mean, yeah, it's probably that. Like, why would you take on the same player? And Will's actually will be Jose against Pix again. So we'll see. I mean, Pix did take a point out of Jose. So he may be able to take on this right now. So it will be a Zappies by Jose. Maybe a split push?
It could be. It could be the
Or
option
even
that
a Royal
Jose
Pain.
could be going for. Royal Pain has also been seen with the Zappies. There is still the
Firecracker.
option for both of these cards. We have a Fisherman, so it might as well be the Royal Pain on part of Jose. And this could be really good because Firecracker,
Giant
Knight,
It's a
Giant Skeleton, and this also might as well be a Royal Pain deck because we have also already seen Giant Skeleton with the Noble Giant in the field too.
Yeah, we'll see. It's
here it
actually
goes.
Royal Pain with the Giant Skeleton. Right now, the Campus Guadalajara will try to take on this match. The mortar gonna be used by Pix Aguilar to try and defend,
Earthquake
but
too.
the Tornado and
One
the
hit on the
Earthquake
Noble
are
Giant.
gonna be one
Second one.
hit. Okay, 2 hits by the Noble Giant. A little bit of chip damage, and those Zappies are gonna come out to try and stop the mortar. The Firecracker just gonna do a little bit of damage and take on that left side Zappy.
And remember, this might as well be the last 1v1 series in this global series between these two teams. If Campus Guadalajara is able to pull this 1v1 series off, and again against Pix Aguilar, they are going to be securing the championship. They are going to be securing the win, and they are going to be our first place winners. So far, Jose seems to have the right cards, seems to have the right possibilities to be able to pull this off.
Yeah,
And
but
this
we
is the
will
first
see.
match.
Campus Monterrey will still have something else to say, and they want us to go to the King of the Hill, and these Zappies are going to stop the Knight right on his tracks. The more are going to be used up. The Barbarial and the Earthquake combined to stop that mortar. The Firecracker going to be stopped by the Zappy, and a little bit of chip damage by Jose. He has all the elixir advantage right now on his favor, and let's see how else he can do.
King Tower has been activated perfectly by that Fisherman, pulling off the Firecracker. Excellent job on part of Jose, and now he has even more opportunities to be able to pull the win on this first match on the 1v1 series. Now, let's see how is he gonna perform? How is he gonna be able to finish off this first match?
I mean, it really is the problem, the King's Tower, because basically what Pix Aguilar is going for is the mortar, so he will never go into the range of the King's Tower. But it's actually been really tough for Pix Aguilar. We will probably just go like to the tiebreaker, and that's where Jose will probably end up winning because of the chip damage that he has been able to do. Because neither of these guys can really make like a strong push.
Yeah, neither of them can. I mean, Giant Skeleton is going to be able to pull a lot of damage with the damage. Nice Tornado to avoid that from hitting on the right side. And now it's going to be probably a Knight to try to defend on the right side. But the Giant, no, Giant is connecting.
Ooh,
Three times are going to connect on that right side tower. Earthquake is going to generate a little bit more damage on that same
That
side.
mortar on the
And
right side.
now the mortar is going to be focusing
Ooh,
on the
that
Giant. But the
was
Tornado was enough,
good.
was it, to the... Now, the mortar is focusing on the right side tower. It's gonna connect one time. It's gonna connect two. And now the Giant is gonna pull a push on the left side. It's gonna connect twice, but no more so far. 3 hits actually, and
That
the Earthquake
tornado
is
was
still generating damage on the right side tower.
That tornado by Pix was actually amazing
Yeah,
to take
was really
the
good.
Royal Pain to the left side instead of the turret of the right side.
Earthquake
But the
again.
Royal Pain and the Earthquake will be
Triple
just
elixir.
more than enough. No, the more is going to come up at the end to try and stop it with success. So we'll see how else. It's basically just an Earthquake cycle by now.
Yeah, pretty much. He just needs one more, and that
And
is 6
ooh!
HP. Not enough yet, but there is the Royal Giant. It's not enough yet.
It's just
20 seconds,
waiting
but
for
it's
the
just the
Earthquake.
Earthquake. The cycle is going to be
There's
coming
it.
in, and
There it
Jose is going to take the first win in this final, or what could be the final 1v1 series. 1-0 right now in favor of Jose.
Yeah, in favor of Campus Guadalajara.
Yep.
Very well played by Jose on
Yep.
this first. That Earthquake was amazing. That Royal Pain was amazing. So now we'll see what the adaptation by Pix is on the second time. Because, okay, let's face it. Pix has already lost against Jose.
Yep.
So it will actually like go down to the wire. Like Pix has to come up with something that can beat Jose. So it'll be actually
And
really tough.
From now on, it will be his last opportunity
basically.
every single time. He has no space for errors. He has no
He
room
has
for
to
any
win
kind of
2
mistakes.
games on a
He
row.
has to win two games in a row. You just said it. And he already has the psychological pressure that he already lost to Jose.
Yeah, he already lost to Jose, so we'll see what deck he ends up bringing. He didn't bring his Expo, so maybe he will bring it now.
And
I don't think it's
how
a good
could you
idea.
have confidence in bringing down the Xbox when you
When
got
you
one win
lost.
and you
Yeah.
got one loss? So you're 50-50 on that specific deck. So it's not like a safe bet to be done for Pix right now.
Yeah, it's not
Anything
like your
that
best.
he might come up with might as well be a good idea, or might be the death sentence for him.
Yeah, let's go to this second match of this third 1v1. Let's see who's gonna take it. Is it gonna be WA Jose by for Campus Guadalajara or for Pix
Pix
Aguilar
Aguilar.
for Campus Monterrey? Let's see who ends up taking, and it's the Wall Breakers by Pix. Man,
Wall
you
Breakers.
already lost this deck.
Yeah, he already lost with this, and remember, this is the game point, this is match point, and this is the point for the series. This might as well be the last game we're gonna be seeing today, and might be the one who's gonna tell us who our champion might be. This could be the definitive win from Campus Guadalajara.
Yeah, actually, if Campus Guadalajara ends up winning, if WA Jose ends up winning, they will be taking on the championship. They will be taking on this match and the championship. So let's see if Pix has something else to say, if he has something else in mind, and he wants to stop them.
Let's see if he's able to do so, because Wall Breakers are going to be trying to push
Miner
in
right
until
side.
the left side. Miner is going to be able to
Oof.
connect Wall Breakers so close to connecting to that left side tower, but not being able to do so. It's going to be really hard. Hunter is going to come in to try to defend, and the Knight is going to fall into his hands, into his pellets, but the Spear Goblins are able to connect a couple of times into this left side tower. Nothing to be worried about from Pix Aguilar's side so far, but slowly but steady might as well be enough for Jose to be able to generate enough damage into these towers. And if he does so, he might as well take the win here and now.
Yeah, he may take this win. The mortar gonna be used on the right side. The bomber tower just gonna be destroyed by that mortar without any further ado. Let's see W Jose that has the health advantage by now. but that mortar may be just enough to deal. Oh, we are gonna have the double elixir right now, and that strong push by Jose on the right side with the graveyard now activated.
Yeah, Graveyard is coming in right now, and the poison aggressively being used right now from Jose. This might as well be the one.
What?
He's losing a lot of HP right now, and that is the first Princess Tower on the right side for Jose. He's calling it GG right now, and it might as well be. This might be the last match. This might be the win for Jose and for Campus Guadalajara.
Yeah, Pixaguilar really doesn't have anything else to say. He really doesn't have a counter right now. Those minor and wall breakers won't be enough. They will be really hard to take. We have 15 seconds left, and with that time in mind, 10 seconds left for Jose and Campus Guadalajara to take on the championship and take on the win on this Borregos Esports Invitational. And that will be it. End of the game, second point for Jose, and that will be the winner for Borregos Tecnológico de Monterrey Campus Guadalajara. They are our winners.
Jose, the captain, the guy, the man for this team, was able to pull 2 wins in these 1v1 matches. He was able to perform as well as he was expected to do. And now, with that great performance, he's able to secure the first win for Borregos in Campus Guadalajara. They are our first champions right now.
Yeah, they are first champions. A really, really well played tournament by them. And talking about these amazing guys, it looks like we'll have an interview with this amazing captain, W.A. Jose, and an important person who wants to tell us a few little words. And now we will have a few words from the National Director of Athletics, the Program Leadership and Student Development from the Mexico City region, Oscar Lopez Trujillo. How are you feeling today?
Great. How about you guys? It's great to talk to you again, guys. I'm pretty happy and pretty excited for this occasion, for this first Borregos Esports Invitational Tournament.
Yeah.
We're pleased and happy.
Yeah, welcome, and we're really happy to be here too. And we heard that you have a few words for our new champions, our first champion from the Borregos Esports Invitational.
Yeah, of course. But first of all, I would like to thank you guys for and thank all the people who's watching us right now, and congratulate and thank all the universities that took place in this tournament.
Yep.
We're very excited, like I said before. This is our first international event.
Yes.
With partnership with the APRU, APRU organization, which is Association of Pacific Rim Universities, which is a consortium of 50 leading research universities in 18 economies of the Pacific. And we cannot be more excited about this. And once again, now in the international level, the participation of other countries, other universities around the world. Once again, Tecnológico Monterrey, the 2 campuses that are other tournaments that we're participating, that we're organizing, got to the final again. And this classic that we can say, if you let me, between our campus in Guadalajara, which is the champion right now, and the other campus could go to the final, our Monterrey campus. So I want to congratulate and thank all the universities that participated, and of course the APRU, APRU organization for letting us to do what we love most, that is giving this kind of tournaments or activities to our students. And specifically now with the 2 finalists, that, like I said, Campus Monterrey and our champions again, Campus Guadalajara. We feel very proud about you guys. We're pretty excited what you're doing. I'm pretty sure that this is just the beginning of many other satisfaction not just tournament, but all the things that come with the championship and this kind of events that are gonna open other doors, or maybe today we're not thinking yet. So Josue, that is here with us. Congratulations for the effort. Of course, congratulations for the journey. And I just want to say we're very proud of you. Congratulations once again.
Thanks for those heartwarming words, Oscar. And now we will talk a bit with our finalist, our winner, actually, our champion, the team captain of Campus Guadalajara. Jose, how are you feeling after that amazing victory?
Well, I'm feeling great. I can speak for all of my teammates. We all feeling great. As it was a final, it was again with Tecnológico de Monterrey, Campus Monterrey, and we won 3-1. So it was we didn't need to get to being 2-2, and at that moment you can play with kind of nervous. So it was great for us to finish it the fourth set.
Yeah, it can affect you psychologically. Fortunately for you guys, it didn't come to that. But tell us, we know that you went through a lot of matches, and we want to know who were your toughest opponents. We know that Campus Monterrey was one of the toughest. Of course, they were in the finals, but who else was there?
Yeah, it was Campus Monterrey, of course, because it was at the final.
Yep.
But the semifinalist, which was SSTJU, I think.
Yeah.
It was difficult too. We won 2-0, but both of the sets were 2-1 in our favor and 3-2 in our favor. So you may think that it was easy because it was 2-0, but it wasn't. It was tough for us.
Yeah, it sure sounded like it. And, well, we saw the matches, and they were kind of done, but in the end, you got the win. That's what it's important. But we also have a question for you. What is your favorite card in the whole sets of Clash Royale?
Oh, favorite. It may be a Magic Archer or a Musketeer. Both have a good range. Both are not easy to kill, so you can get a lot of value in your defense, so you can get your counter push. Well done.
Yeah, we have seen the Magic Archer being really powerful from the back and generating a lot of damage within the Princess Towers. And finally, we know that you are used to be playing 1v1 matches representing your university, and now that we're changing this format that you are in a team representing your semi-university, how does it feel to be changing into this format that is used globally in the Clash Royale competitions?
At the beginning, I thought it would be more difficult because you can play by yourself and you can participate by yourself and you can get a lot of confidence because you are the one who is playing. But also working as a team is really good and really important. So it was a great experience. And not also that, because our 2v2 won all of their 3 matches, and I wasn't playing the 2v2. So I got a lot of confidence with my teammates. They play 2v2. I play 1v1, and we won. So I think it was really good for us.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like you say, the confidence in your teammates and the teamwork is really important in this format. And, well, at the end of the day, you took the win, you took the W, the championship home, so that's what it's important. But finally, any last few words, Jose, that you want to say, everybody who's watching?
I want to thank you all for the supporting. I want to thank you for this competition. I want to thank my parents who also support me, and all my teammates. We all are celebrating this win.
Thank you so much, Jose. And finally, Mr. Oscar, anything you want to add to, or anything you want to say to our new champion, our first champion from the Borregos Esports Invitational? Any other words that you want to say to the audience that is watching us right now?
once again, thank you, all you guys, and congratulations, Josue, on all your team. I love what you said about your teammates. It's a team effort. These activities, that's why we promote these kind of activities, because promote this kind of competencies in our students, so they can apply it to the regular kind of life, So we're pretty proud of you guys. Congratulations. And now we are at the very end of the semester. So now you won, as with the same strength and with the same quality of performance. You and everybody is watching. I'm pretty sure that all around the world are finishing the semester, the year. So I wish good luck to you all, so we can have no problems next year in our school. Congratulations and good luck with that.
Well, thank you very much, Oscar, for those kind words. And now, guys, well, that is basically it for all of us in this interview.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for taking the time to be in this little interview. Congratulations again, Jose, for your great win, and congratulations to your whole team that, it was a team effort. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Oscar, for your kind words and the encouragement that you are giving these teams and these competitions in this specific moment where we are currently going through rough times, and esports have been really a helping thing for this. So thank you so very much. And with this, we're gonna go and close up this transmission, right?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add, my dear Malex?
No, nothing really. It's been an amazing journey right now. This tournament in itself has been really good. Just to thank you all for joining us, just to thank all the viewers that have been accompanying us for the duration of this tournament, both yesterday and today. Also, a big shout out to the APRU for making everything, all of this possible.
Yep.
And, well, basically just remind you guys that you can follow us on social media if you want, if you wish to. Where can they find you, Inicoms?
You can find me as Inicoms with a C, as Zebra, directly in social media in any of these different platforms. Yeah, that's correct. And where can they find you, my dear Malex?
Well, you can find me anywhere on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, as Malex Garciv. You can find me there, like it is appearing on your screens. And well, basically, that's just it for us. It's been an amazing journey. It's an amazing tournament, this Borregos Esports Invitational. It's been an amazing, well, a lot of Clash Royale matches, actually. So we hope that you really enjoy them, that you really dig them. So thank you very much for joining us, because without you, this wouldn't be possible. And we'll see you next time.
See ya.